everyone. Hello, all. Welcome to this special. Again, we're only going to do spoiler shows apparently from now on. Welcome to the April 5th edition of Show Business. I come to you, as always, as CP.
And from Fuego and the horror show, double the horror show tonight. I'm Jaime Fuego.
And King Shark is a I'm Lindsey of My 2 Cents of Nonsense. What's up, guys? Let's have a good time.
Thank you for spending time with us. I know your schedule's gotten way busier with your internet fames.
I remember the little people. Don't worry, guys.
And Chauncey had not seen the film, so she didn't want to join us and just sit here and listen to us spoil the absolute shit out of it. But like Fuego said, we are joined by Cecil of the horror show. Cecil, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much for having me, sir.
Well, thank you for being here. And I think actually you're probably the anchor to lean on here because you're big, like you're a big kaiju monster movie guy, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Monsters of all kind, kaijus, from critters to kaiju. Let's call it.
That's a good YouTube channel name, actually.
Are those innuendos, or?
I mean, I tackle all sizes, buddy.
We're speaking in euphemisms at this point. So hello to everybody in the chat. What's up, Dale? What's up, Brian? Jake, Rhapsody Reviews. Felix. I think we're caught up. Sean. Okay, good. Sky, what's going on? All right, so quickly, if you hadn't seen Godzilla versus Kong, this isn't your show. We're spoiling the absolute shit out of it. So be warned. I guess we'll give the teeny bit of news before we get into it. Who was it Lindsey or Fuego? Which one of you has the stat of actual box office numbers from this weekend?
Do you have that, Fuego? I've got a little bit here.
Yeah, I mean, I just have a breakdown of the top 10 specifics for the weekend, but yeah.
You got the top 10. All I got is Godzilla. Go for it, man.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So Kong versus Godzilla, or actually, excuse me, Godzilla versus Kong. I'm going to have to get the victor in the forefront there. But yeah, it beat a lot of expectations here at the domestic box office. It did on over 3,000 screens. The total for the weekend was 48.5, or excuse me, 30. Okay, I'm seeing a bunch of different numbers now because there's the 3-day for the weekend, which is 32.2, and then there's the 5-day because it technically came out on Wednesday, and that was 48.5
for Easter weekend or something. Oh no, 5-day. Okay, I see.
Yeah, because
that's pretty strong.
Yeah,
I didn't realize 3,000 screens can be open at this point. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it was in second place we had The Unholy, which I actually spent money and went and saw. It's a Jeffrey Dean Morgan, William Sadler, Cary Elwes horror film. I got very blasphemous on Sunday, it being Easter weekend, and I went and saw that. Too bad the movie was shitty. I wasn't really expecting a lot, but yeah, it was disappointing. But that came in at second with just over 3 million, 3.2 million, and the rest was rounded up by Nobody at number 3, which is the kind of John Wick-esque with dude from Better Call Saul, Bob Odenkirk. Yeah, fun movie. I reviewed that about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, whenever it initially came out. That's still, it has a total now of 11.8 million, but it did another 3 this past weekend. So, I mean,
those are all pretty good COVID numbers. There's, I guess we're coming back. We're gonna have to start talking about box office shit again.
Yeah,
it's kind of annoying, actually.
Yeah, and I mean, especially with Easter weekend too, where people are doing stuff with family. I had family in town, and I was lucky to even sneak out and go see that horror film. But they had some church stuff to do that I wasn't going to be a part of, so I had to counterbalance and whatnot. But yeah, the rest of it, without getting into specific numbers, Raya and the Last Dragon at number 4, Tom and Jerry at number 5. A new entry, The Girl Who Believes in Miracles. I believe that's one of those spiritual-centric films. That was number 6.
Oh, Easter. Yeah, they always do that.
Yeah, followed by the Courier, which I also did a review of, which is one of my favorite films of the year. Benedict Cumberbatch is terrific in it. And then Chaos Walking at 8, The Croods, A New Age at 9, and French Exit, which expanded this past weekend. That's a Michelle Pfeiffer kind of dramedy of sorts that I'm seeing at some point this week. That's at number 10.
Another cute stat. You brought up Chaos Walking. If you guys really want to put yourself through pain, that is officially on VOD now. If you want to watch Chaos Walking at home, it's home. Yeah, big if. I don't know. If you'd rather get your toes ripped off or watch a movie, I guess maybe Chaos Walking's the option.
So you're selling me on this one right here. I got to see this. Like,
so before we go, I'll go by screen. I'm top left, Lindsey next, Fuego next, and then CECIL last. Expectations of Godzilla vs. Kong, and how did you feel leaving the film? I will say that I thought the movies leading up to it were good. My favorite actually is 2014, believe it or not. Yeah, all right. I'm ready. I'm ready. Long night.
No. I'll second the boo.
And I was just genuinely fired up about this, and what I will say is my number score out of 5 is a 2 for Godzilla vs. Kong.
I thought that was for your favorite of this franchise. I was like, wow, it's just all downhill from that
No. Lindsey.
Okay, so Skull Island is my favorite one by far. That movie is just so insane and just so out there, and the cast is amazing, and the soundtrack, and but this new one, I just kind of really just tuned out for just like huge chunks of it. Just, I mean, not really tuned out, almost just like I didn't like actually turn the sound off, but like I might as well have turned the sound off. But like the highs that it had were pretty good, so I guess. Oh, I've never been a huge fan for a number. Yeah, I guess I'd probably be a 2 out of 5. I might be negotiated to be lower than that. Yeah.
A couple of rocks out of a sandwich.
Yeah. I didn't like dislike it, but it just like never engaged me, I guess is my question.
Not even for the end?
I mean, that was okay, but like.
Oh, okay.
But that's like kind of the same problem I have in 2014. Sorry, I'm just gonna keep going now. Like, you know, like, yeah, the ending's amazing, but it kind of takes a while to get there, and there's like not a lot before that. Like,
remind me of that, because I feel like we'll get to it. Fuego.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, man. So this was a mixed bag of expectations because, as CECIL knows, I wasn't too big on either of the previous Godzilla movies, but I friggin' loved Kong Skull Island. I thought that movie was just a blast and gave me pretty much everything that I wanted in that sort of film. And it actually kind of cherry picked a lot of my favorite parts of the Peter Jackson version to a degree. But yeah, so I mean, I didn't have the highest hopes, but because I didn't, I think I was pleasantly surprised because of that. So I think on my letterbox, I gave it 3 out of 5. So
okay, all right. And the weighted opinion, CECIL.
So with the Monsterverse, I ultimately ranked this at number 3 for me. I liked King of the Monsters the most. That was the closest to what I've wanted from these movies for a long time. Then I would go Skull Island, and then this, and then 2014. But ultimately, the movie was fun. It was serviceable for what it was. It didn't bother trying to mine any kind of depths, although it did try and mine some kind of depths.
Literally.
But yeah, complete with unknown light sources, but we'll get to it. But nonetheless, did you know the core of the Earth is a middle sun?
Yeah, there's a sun in there.
Yeah, that's the core, CP. Duh.
And has some sort of sunset look to it.
Naturally. Well, it rises and falls. Because why wouldn't it? It just does it like this.
It just moves up and down behind a mountain.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, really, that little interaction is part and parcel for the silliness that is this movie. Well, that doesn't necessarily make it bad. It just makes it silly. Fun.
Wait, so King of the Monsters is your favorite?
Yes.
So how were your expectations going in? Were you like, yeah? Yes.
I believe it or not, I had them tempered because I knew a movie with just Kong and Godzilla. I knew it was going to be the typical superhero meetup format. They're going to bash each other for a couple of fights at most, and then they're going to team up against some bigger bad. Everyone knew that has ever known storytelling or comics in any way, shape, or form knows that that's how it goes when two forces for good meet up to clash, so to speak. So I knew that was going to happen, and I knew there was only going to be a certain level of satisfaction out of it. I mean, it's like if I had watched Fuego and Marcia have a fight. Do I really want to see two people I know are good throw down? You know what I mean? Like, it'd be fun to see the long hair get pulled on both sides, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be good for everyone.
Are they throwing each other into really nicely lit buildings?
Nicely lit buildings that, by the way, somehow support a skyscraper tall Kong. I don't know if another skyscraper jumped from skyscraper to skyscraper that they would necessarily survive.
But didn't he fell. He fell off of one of them.
But he was leaping he was jungle gymming around that city for a while. But nonetheless,
the regulations are a little trippy over there.
Yeah. So I guess my expectations weren't quite as high as you might think. My expectations for the next Godzilla focused movie are what are up high, not this necessarily.
Okay.
If we get it, because I'm hearing rights reverting to Toho and all this different stuff. So we'll see.
Really?
They don't like the fact that Godzilla laughed.
Yeah.
Did he laugh?
Godzilla laughed.
He kind of giggled.
Smiled.
He smiled, and you kind of heard a low rumble, like it was kind of a chuckle. But yeah, he emoted when Toho did not want him to emote.
Oh wow!
I have to go watch the movie again.
You guys didn't hear about that?
No.
There's a few times when Adam Wingard talked about it. He had express orders to not have Godzilla emote because Japan sees Godzilla as a god, and a god wouldn't have opinions one way or another about what he has to do. But Adam Wingard talked about how we were really clever about having him emote a couple of times, and those, believe it or not, stuck out to me when I watched it the first time, where Godzilla was worried at one point, and then Godzilla was a little evil smile at one point, and that's Wingard squeezing that stuff in.
Interesting.
Okay, so
interesting. What part was it? Kind of towards the end. I'm sorry. I'm
you know what?
fascinated.
I'll pull it up. I had it pulled up for that very reason. So let me do my work.
So while you're doing that, and I'll kind of stick to the.
I can even share screen and stuff, but go ahead.
Yeah. So to open the movie, I was nervous within a couple of frames of the movie.
A couple frames,
because as people who are Star Wars fans, when they first watched The Last Jedi, they were like, "Oh no, you're gonna shit all over my movie." King Kong. We open up with King Kong laying down. He scratches his ass. It's first thing in the morning, and it's just. It was really real, like the tone of what we were doing with Godzilla. I'm going to keep doing this all night. What we kept, the tone with King Kong felt a little too silly, a little too dopey, if anything. And I don't know how many you could have a Mad Libs and. Just list off all the different movies that this sort of feels like. I couldn't help but think of Truman Show, Hunger Games 2, when he threw the friggin' stick into the I don't know, the dome. The dome, yeah. It was very, very Hunger Games 2. I don't know why I'm quoting Hunger Games so much, but
because there's that moment where they are and like they shoot the arrow at the. Yeah. It's a visual callback. I'll give you that. It's a bit of a stretch, but it is visual similarities. Like,
well, I also thought the choice of song was a bit peculiar. I think it was like a Bobby Vinton song or something like that. I didn't feel like it fit a King Kong sequence very well. Yeah, but I guess it was supposed to epitomize the serenity of him just chilling and just waking up and all that. So. I don't know. It was just weird to me. It's strange tone right off the bat. I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
That's kind of Wingard's style, though. I'm always the hot cold with him. Like, I really like, whatchamacallit, Not The Guest. I never saw that, but the other really
The
good.
Guest is really, it's really dark.
You're thinking of You're Next, right?
Yes, You're Next. Thank you. That was gonna bug the hell out of me, and that one's got that opens with a really good needle drop. So it's like, oh, so that's kind of what this guy does. But then there's not really a lot of those throughout the movie. At least I don't remember them.
Wait, help me out. Your next is with the Australian one who knows how to right? Is that the one where it's a rich family and they're all meeting up at the house?
Yeah,
yeah.
She's like a survivalist or something like that. She was raised in like some kind of I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the tone is silly, like even close to being silly in that movie though. Like,
and it's definitely not in Blair Witch, his Blair Witch movie from a few years ago. That was super serious.
that one was okay. Honestly, that one had a couple of good moments in it that really got me.
Is that me?
What's up?
Is that me or is that him?
That's Lindsey.
Lindsey, you have a mic thing. Just reset. You sound fine now. Or just leave. Go fuck yourself, Lindsey. You're out. How about now?
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yes.
So just start
technical issues. Okay. Sorry about that, guys.
No troubles.
Well, you continue. I'm the one that.
You were the one talking.
Oh, it was. Oh, I didn't know when it started happening. Blair Witch is good. Death Note was silly bad. And now there's this one, and it actually reminds me more of Death Note than some of the other things because of some of the needle drops that were in this. Kind of felt like that was kind of like 80s anthems that he dropped in Death Note a lot. Actually, I shouldn't say I hated Death Note. There was some good stuff in it, but like I love the anime so much, it just didn't click for me.
Well, he does with the next animated thing because he's doing Thundercats next. So
okay, well,
the live action though. He's
Yeah.
not doing it animated. He's doing it live action.
Yeah, I mean, converting something animated to live action.
I understand. Okay, yeah. Well, that's interesting. Actually, I might be kind of down for that. Like, because he loves 80s music. So a lot of the music in this was from the 80s too. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, that's it. Okay, I just found it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's weird. I'll never forget this. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to keep people reminded that people who like to talk in the chat, I'll never forget that you got arrested more than one time and you have 10 DWIs. 10.
And if you want to hang out at Walmart, you have to behave yourself, or else no dice. Sorry.
He cannot hang out in Walmart. He's not allowed. He's been banned from Walmart, from that fine establishment. So,
oh my God! Wow. Okay.
So no, I remember things. Thank you for checking in, though.
Would that be a WWI, a Walmart while intoxicated? is that a thing? Like,
I would imagine in certain parts of the Southern Belt there is that classification.
I would argue also looking miserable while existing, but that's just me. All right, keep it up. Thanks for checking in. I appreciate your worry about my memory.
But yeah, Adam Wingard. I should watch The Guest. Everyone tells me to watch The Guest.
Yes.
So I'll make an effort to do that. King of the Monsters. So how do we feel about that one? Because that for me was like the epitome of every frame of painting. Like, it's not necessarily like the best movie ever, but God, do I love looking at it. Like, I just can't take my eyes off it when it's like, it's just, everything is gorgeous. That's another good director, by the way. Michael Dougherty, I love him.
Another horror director got to the stage.
Yeah.
It's my destiny, guys.
Because I wanted to work to it at some point.
Oh, my bad.
No, that's fine. I feel like because we had that movie, it was a weird place. Like, where do you go from there? Like, you had everything. Like, how are you supposed to top that with go ahead, Cecil.
Godzilla and Kong destroy all monsters. That's where you go from here. You bring them both in to fight all of them when King Ghidorah comes back somehow or something like that.
Crazy battle royal situation.
Or Space Godzilla shows up, the Biolante. Who knows? There's so many goddamn really good
Mecha Godzilla.
He didn't look so good, I gotta say.
Which, by the way, there's an argument to be made that was actually Ghidorah in a Mecha Godzilla thing at that point. So
Which was kind of interesting. That like, oh, okay,
it's interesting, but does that mean they blew their wad and now they can't do that in another movie?
Yeah, I had that same thought, exact same thought. It's also it kind of made it even more Batman v Superman-y than it already was, which made me kind of giggle.
All right, I'll make the joke. Say your name. Why did you say Mothra?
Mothra.
And then King Kong mimes.
Why did you say Mothra?
Honestly, that moment got me when he started doing sign language for home. I was like, "Oh, okay, that's okay."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like, what was with all these off-screen deaths from not off-screen, but it just seemed like everything that happened in the movie before, they were just like, never mind, we're doing this now.
Yeah.
Well, thank goodness they did away with the stupid mother character from the previous Godzilla film, because that was the most illogical, inane, idiotic. It kind of ruined a lot of the movie for me, and it was just
but
for all the pretty pictures.
Well, what service did the humans really serve in this one?
Thank you. I don't listen.
They literally just watched the fight at the end, like we did. Like, forgive me. One of them spilled their drink and defeated Mechagodzilla.
I like the podcaster guy, and I like the deaf girl. Pretty much nobody else in it. So
yeah, I dug the deaf girl. I wanted more deaf girl. I just love how frequently we're seeing podcasters in movies.
Podcaster guy who actually was the cop in the Child's Play remake.
Yeah.
Oh, he was. You're right.
That's right. Yeah.
Ooh, good cut.
And the other dude from Deadpool.
I always think of Hunt for the Wilder People, but
yeah.
Oh yeah, Fireboy.
Russell from Deadpool 2.
Russell, that's it.
So for some reason, Warner's like, we need to have Stranger Things, Deadpool 2, and I don't know, as popular as Child's Play remake was. It just didn't make sense for me. And if anything, I got some QAnon vibes from the conspiracy dude who happened to be a security guard. It's like, dude, you know,
I wouldn't put him down there with those people.
Well, I was just trying to, ballpark it.
How dare you, CP?
Well, seriously, we didn't hear you on the first act.
On the first act?
Yeah. Well, how'd you feel going in? Like, were you? Because I was nervous. I was like, this feels a little weird in tone.
It started off with like the whole conceit. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, Godzilla's okay with Kong as long as he's on his island. Mm-hmm. Like, no, if there's another Titan out there, he's gonna go and confront the Titan. But then as soon as he gets off, okay, then Godzilla comes, and then he manages to play dead, and Godzilla's like, all right, I'm out of here. And then they manage to sneak Kong, a skyscraper-sized Kong, onto helicopter hoists without making a sound. And I'm guessing the boats just never turned back on, because if they had turned back on, Godzilla would have come to finish the job, right? So did they just leave the carrier and whatever was left out there? Like, these are stupid questions to ask, certainly, but they do beg the questions.
I was actually a little surprised that the Godzilla that attacked the boats was the actual Godzilla, because it was kind of teased, kind of out there, and that Mechagodzilla was going to make an appearance in this. So I'll come out and say it. I haven't seen that many Godzilla films, and the ones I have seen, I've only seen once, except for Godzilla versus the Cosmic Monster, which I owned growing up, and so I've seen that one like a dozen times at least. So I thought they were going to do the thing where like the fake Godzilla skin falls off and it's like a robot underneath again or something like that. But then they didn't do that, and then that scene did just kind of stop. Where it's like, Godzilla's got them, it's over, he's gonna kill everyone, and then he's like, all right, you guys are my bitches? Okay, cool, all right, peace, guys, I'm out. And then he's, okay.
That's another time when, and somehow, by the way, look, again, forgive the nitpicks, but Godzilla like turned like he was standing on something in the ocean, like not like he was like, he wasn't like, he just was like, What? That's not how oceans work, even if you're like a giant lizard. But all right.
Yeah,
Again, I hate to be
much,
nitpicky, but these are all things that occurred to me as I watched. Like,
Dude, if they were your only gripes, you'd be like, all right, yeah, I had a good time, but this was a little silly.
yeah, it was very much game blouses, and just kind of. But I mean, if you want to see the epitome of nitpicking, I like watch the pitch meeting, man, because it just tears this movie to pieces.
Well, to get to what I was talking about with 2014, however you feel about it, that it set things up. It took its time. However,
it did take its time.
Yeah, that's That's one thing it did.
It certainly was plotting and slow and whatever. But having said that, there's with that movie, and if this is the same universe, this is the same franchise, you have no business wasting 45 minutes with all this just fucking exposition and nonsense just because you need Millie Bobby Brown in a movie. I think there was just too much of, this has to happen because science, and now we're building a new thing, and like it just seems like none of the other movies really mattered. Like you don't need to see any other movie to experience this.
No, and speaking of the science, everything like leaps forward. Every new movie, like, suddenly we have a transit system between Hong Kong and wherever the fuck, the other side of the planet. Yeah, and like, that's just a thing that happens now. And like, by the way, there's also these not only anti-gravity vehicles, but inverse gravity vehicles when called upon. Sure, why not? Like all of this happened in the, what was it, 5 years, 4 years since the last movie?
There was like, what was the total of monsters that there were for?
I think they said it was 17 in King of the Monsters.
17. Wow. We can't open a fucking supermarket right now because of COVID. And you mean to tell me that if 17 of those things tranced around Earth, that we would be so much further ahead?
Look, life finds a way, CP. We can't just stop living because we'll die by getting crushed by a random foot every now and again.
Fucking Boston does not exist.
No.
Well, who needs the Red Sox anyway? Let's be honest here, guys. Like,
well, I want to see the little short film where Godzilla, after King of All Monsters, was like, now go sleep. All of you go. All of you go sleep. If anyone leaves their island, I will come to get you.
I have a whoopee. If you need a whoopee, I have one.
I like to imagine that he cuddled Rodan to go to sleep. Just like, it's okay, buddy. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
That's the
actually,
thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, the other thing is they kind of teased us with Mothra, like that felt like they were going to do something with.
She did. How did they tease us with Mothra?
Well, like, didn't she save Godzilla, or she helped?
She died. She exploded herself.
She exploded herself. Yeah.
It's the same. It happened in the Toho movies where she dies and her Mothra mist sprinkles down and revives Godzilla. Actually, that's what supercharged him towards the end, because it was the nuclear bomb that revived him, and then it was down, and then Mothra sacrificed herself in order to bring him back.
The skull is from the three-headed thing.
The skull is from Ghidorah,
Yeah, okay.
That's the head that was in the post-credits scene of King of All Monsters, where Lannister, had his team.
And you gotta love how he didn't come back. He's just like, you know what? I'm one and done on this one, guys.
I'm done with these movies. Are you kidding me? What would I even do?
Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a great movie.
So
I agree. My God, you're right. I didn't even put that together. He's the fucking. He's the guy with the bullseye.
Such a good fucking movie.
Holy shit! All right, sorry, Lindsey. Yeah. Or sorry, CP. That's.
Wait, what? Bullseye. Oh,
so he played the guy with the bullseye. The first guy he goes to see. Holy shit! I didn't put that together. Wow.
But the first time I saw him, he showed up in Game of Thrones. I was like, wait, hold on, wait. Oh, it's the guy.
That Sicilian prick, or whatever the hell the line was.
That's one of the most underrated fucking movies ever. Is Last
and it's
Action
starting to come around too, because it was so meta. It was so ahead of its time. People were like, oh, people didn't give this movie's actually really good. It was good back then, you jerks.
It was, and the soundtrack kicks ass. You've got Megadeth and Alice in Chains and
Buckethead. Big Gun. Wait, wasn't Big Gun from that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. ACD or who was that? That was AC/DC, right? Yeah.
AC/DC.
Dude,
Sure.
Big Gun is great.
Stacked, man. Yeah, I think Megadeth 99 Ways to Die I think that was on that one.
99 Ways to Die is Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, okay. Shit, man. Megadeth did so many soundtracks at that point. I mean, yeah, good lord. Alice in Chains, A Little Bitter, and What the Hell Have I are on that. Yeah, it's
a time where you could throw a soundtrack together and sell it on a movie.
Dude, I bought that shit back then. I got the Last Action soundtrack. I got the Jurassic Park soundtrack. Like, I bought that shit back in the day.
Nice.
Scream had some great soundtracks. I mean, what's on, man? I know
what you did last summer. Yeah,
killer soundtrack
with Kula Shaker doing Hush
cover of
Yeah, that's how you work your way around having the license. You just have them make a song for you.
Offspring did one of those songs for Me, Myself, and Irene. They did one song for.
Dude, The Chase has an amazing soundtrack too. That
the Charlie Sheen Chase,
Charlie Sheen, Christy Swanson, Epitaph Records. You had like Bad Religion. You had The Offspring. It was a punk centric soundtrack. I love that.
And the Red Hot Chili Peppers are literally in the
movie. I think that's what's underrated. I dig it. Christy Swanson looking just impeccable in that film.
So, do we have any other thoughts on the first act of Godzilla vs. Kong? Like it, go on.
I will say that I actually quite dug the fact that Godzilla whooped his ass because he's a water lizard. Like I was like, okay, that makes sense, and he's whooping on a primate that needs air. But the funny thing,
strapped to a fucking boat.
Yeah, no less. The funny thing was though, the one questionable effect that was in the Godzilla vs. Kong trailer that I pointed out, where Godzilla gets knocked off the carrier and into the ocean, there was not nearly enough water displacement when they put it in the trailer. And I was like, that is the only effect that looks bad. If you go back and watch the trailer, he falls off, he sinks into the ocean really fast. Like it doesn't hit the water and then sink. And I was like, that's a bad effect. They're going to need to fix that. And in the movie, they cut basically as soon as he hits the water rather than going all the way and sinking in. They cut away from the effect to avoid having to redo the effect.
That's interesting.
See, I minor nitpick. I would think that if Godzilla got Kong underwater, that's it. You know, there shouldn't be much of a fight because
especially the way he wrapped around him, that was so cool.
Was that? He was just swimming, and his tail was just like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and also just the initial shot, almost like a shark fin of his approach.
Yeah.
In the trailers is one of those iconic bits too, man. Look damn cool.
Yeah.
And anytime you see those fins in the water, it's like, oh, something's about to happen here.
Side note,
Adam Wingard did know how to shoot the hell out of this movie. I do have to say.
Oh yeah, he's a proficient. I'm telling you, Lindsey, watch The Grudge, and you'll.
The Guest.
Okay.
Yeah, or The Grudge, which has nothing to do with anything, but you know, I just want you to watch The Grudge. That's all.
That's fair.
Which one? Which one? The 2019 one or the? Okay, all right.
The 2019 one, so you know what to never watch again.
Yeah, exactly.
Back to soundtracks before I forget, though. Even though people hated that Godzilla movie from the 90s, it had a friggin' awesome soundtrack. Gotta say, man, I enjoy that movie. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's not good by any
that happened.
Guilty popcorn pleasure. I can't say these movies are necessarily too much better, in my estimation, any in this season.
Really?
Yeah, my personal opinion, yeah.
Then
Honestly,
Godzilla
I had
98?
that soundtrack too.
Yeah.
Wait.
We're talking soundtracks or film?
Godzilla 98. Yeah, that's a hot take, and I'm here for it.
Wait, you think that's better than any of these movies?
No. But I'm not saying any of these new movies are too much better than that movie.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'm serious. That's it. Hey, I'll get a lot of shit for it, but
whoa.
I enjoy
I quite enjoy a lot of it, but when you get into Raptorzilla territory,
I just that. Yeah,
we're
ripping
off
up
the
Jurassic
rails.
Park, the little babies happen and stuff.
Yeah.
I actually did get sad when they killed him in the end of that movie. I got to be honest. When he just got wrapped up on the bridge and they just like missiled him to
Fucking
hell.
moron.
You heard the giant heartbeat go. Thump, thump. I was like,
with these cables, I'm on this thin piece of what I do.
True. By the way, I never did get around to telling you guys. So the moment I was talking about is that. Do you want me to share the screen, CP, or do you want to just have to go to it?
Sure.
Okay. So let me share. So this is like the 10 seconds. Sorry, me. That's like this is like the 10 seconds leading up to it. Okay. Share screen. Okay. So
careful to keep it under 8 if you can.
Okay, hang on. Then let me run through a few more seconds. So this is the point at which Godzilla just knocked Kong over. So he knocked Kong into the water after Kong lost his axe. He like tried to hit Godzilla with the axe, and so he's knocked into the water, into what looks like the water in between. That's 2 parts of Hong Kong. I don't know. All right, so here we go.
Hong Kong Bay.
Never been there. All right, yeah, Hong Kong Bay. Exactly. My entire screen. Yes. Okay.
You can do application.
Oh, isn't that fancy?
We got so many tools. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. So it's still, I have to go to my entire screen part.
Oh, you're good.
All right, here we go.
Just drop the porn down.
All right, do you see it?
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, here we go. So I don't know if it's going to play the audio, but there is a low rumble here. But this is the Godzilla smiling and kind of ha-ha-haing. So this is Kong being knocked into the water. Godzilla pulls the axe out, and he's...
Oh, yeah, I remember that shot.
All right. Here it comes.
Kong's like, fuck, I got to run.
I got to go. All right, hang on. I don't want to show too much. Let me skip it.
It's good that you're pausing, too, because that'll
help, too.
Yep.
Yeah, correct.
All right, here we go. Tell me that's not a fucking smile.
Yeah.
Tell me that isn't a smile. All right, hang on. I'll freeze on it next time. Sorry.
That was very satisfied lizard boy.
Oh, pretty happy. Yeah.
Very proud of himself.
You know, gets his ass knocked over. Okay, just pausing for a second. La-di-da-di-da. And I'll pause on the smile. So he's pretty self-satisfied, right?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
God damn it.
No, he's got that doggy grin going on with like the mouth open. Okay.
Yeah. And there is a low rumble to accompany it. I mean, that's an emotive Godzilla right there.
Yeah, you know what? Just somebody take that and isolate it, put it at the bottom of a thumbnail, and just it's Godzilla something explained video, ending explained, and there's his face for the bottom of the thumbnail.
Yeah, or
Godzilla loves you.
I'm like thinking of all kinds of inappropriate memes, that people could make of it, where it's like when she tells you can do that, or blah 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 blah. That sort of thing.
So what was it before or after when Godzilla fucked up that
This
plant?
was about 20 minutes left.
Well, that's third act stuff. What you just showed was third act. I'm trying to take us through. So they fought on the boats. Kong should have drowned, and that should have been it. But I think this is when we figure out that the Earth has got a couple of secrets.
Yeah, side quest time.
How many different side quests do we have? And that's another thing. There are so many human characters in this. It's like overstuffing the goddamn turkey, man. I mean,
yes.
Granted, I guess Skarsgård is relatively developed and podcaster guy, to a lesser degree and whatever. But I mean, once again, none that were in any way interesting. So, and plus the runtime of this with being less than 2 hours, and I mean, maybe you could have fleshed them out. But I know people don't go to these films for characters, as I am always told anytime I'm critical about that in these films. I mean, Kong actually had interesting characters, Skull Island being, but none of the Zilla films. At least for me.
What's weird is the classic old school Godzilla movies. I mean, they're jokes, they're caricatures. I don't know, perhaps they're offensive, but you would always get the shot of the town running just fucking horrified. I don't think we really get just the scope of what is going on. We did get it in King of the Monsters, but there's no real, how does Earth feel about this? What are they dealing with? It's just with the exception of 3 people that seem to know what the fuck they're talking about. And I'm a hacker. That's all I wanted to hear him say was I'm a hacker. Like Jurassic Park.
Can I throw out a quick hot take, just piggybacking off what you just said?
Sure.
So I think personally that the kaiju movie that got the ground level point of view the best was fucking Cloverfield. Like, that's the one that actually made you feel like these things are huge, they're bigger than us, but it maintained grounded human, like the simple story of a guy going into the city where he should not be going to save a woman that he loves, and that's all you needed. And you still cared more about those characters in Cloverfield than you've cared about any of the characters in almost any of these movies, save possibly Skull Island. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't take much. Just tell the right fucking story. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Go on.
Well, I was just gonna say, I spent like a lot of the movie kind of wondering, okay, so what's this Okay, so podcaster bros got conspiracies, and Eleven's buying into them because her powers went away and she's desperate for attention. It's like, well, where's this storyline going? And I guess the purpose was to like show us just how evil the evil company was, but they were pretty obviously evil without that storyline. I felt like it and especially Russell, like from Deadpool 2, like did he really need to be there? Like, I feel like podcaster guy could have just been the hacker, especially because it was his whiskey in the end that did it all. Right?
Well, they needed that van to get around in,
Russell literally did nothing the entire movie up until the drink. Like, literally nothing but bitch and try and be comic relief. Like, there was no reason for him.
It was strange for like why bring Millie Bobby Brown back at all?
And her dad even
for the dad moment at the end, I guess. Like,
was that the only time we saw the dad? Did Kyle
at the beginning.
Yeah, he was in it briefly.
He was at the beginning and at the end.
Okay. And then he took the tube from Florida to Hong Kong to get there in a span of like such an indiscriminate amount of time. And
let's not question. Like, let's not at least have him say, "Why are you here?" or "How did you get here?" Like, one question to acknowledge the fact that she's literally across the globe all of a sudden,
and able to find her immediately.
No, you don't need to mention that. Okay,
I've got my decoder ring that automatically brings me to exactly where you are.
Unbeknownst to my daughter, I implanted a tracker in her years ago.
My daughter teleports somehow, but okay.
A lot of suspension of disbelief is asked of a lot. And I unless you have something else to preface this with, we head down under Earth, and boy, I don't know if you guys like The Core or maybe Land of the Lost with Will Ferrell.
Journey to the Center of the Earth. I mean, the first time.
Journey to the Center. No, those are actually somewhat respectable. Yeah. I was laughing my ass off once we got to Upside Down Mountainville.
Well, that's why 11 is here, because they made it to the Upside Down, and so they need the connection with her.
Points.
So then technically she would have been more served in the Skarsgård camp on Team Kong instead of on Team Godzilla, right? So,
and not to question science, which is so clearly very strictly followed to
so much respect
in this film. Wouldn't oxygen be a little bit funky in Middle Earth land?
Literal Middle Earth.
Well, no, because there's trees, right? Because
there's trees, and there's
there's trees, so trees create oxygen.
There's the layer of rocks that somehow the purple rocks that are just floating because That's what they do?
Look, there's fertile soil after all of the Earth's crust on the inside, as everyone knows.
Mm-hmm.
We have a floating mid-Earth sun core. All of it, it makes perfect fucking sense. It's like Bob Ross created the middle of the Earth.
Oh,
and like it was just so rah. Like, yeah, let's experience Kong, have fun. He's running around in the Middle Earth and he's
His
jumping and running.
not here, so there's that bitter disappointment.
Yeah.
But hey, he can play.
But to get the iconic shot of him sitting on that throne looking like a badass. So I mean,
The throne, which, by the way, were these apes? Like, did they have how did the stairs get carved into this whole fucking area? How was there a throne anyway? Like, who machined all of this? Because
the mute girl's great grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. All right,
I kind of wondered if maybe because they talked about Godzilla's ancestors and King Kong's ancestors. I wonder if together they built that place. Did Nuclear Breath carve any of that? Maybe because there's that shrine with the axe that kind of looks like that looked like Godzilla. It wasn't crazy, right?
Well, the axe itself is
bone, right?
Godzilla scale. Yeah, a bone with a Godzilla scale in it. By the way, as soon as you started saying that, Lindsey, the song "Imagine Me and You." And you and me.
They're just skipping, holding hands together.
Yeah. Kong points and Godzilla's like, ah, and carves stairs, with his breath. Because apparently Godzilla's breath can literally cut a hole in the earth.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If he focuses hard enough.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all an iconic stare down,
Well, that's how we have toilets that run from up here to China. It just Godzilla did us a favor and
iconic stare down, which in which there's absolutely no. It's like the equivalent of Shazam when Shazam is trying to hear monologuing from the bad guy. He's like, I can't hear you. Neither of them would see each other through the thousands of miles or whatever it is from. The surface to the core.
Yeah.
What I love about that sequence too is just so they had to do a crazy teleport, follow Kong through the mystic hole thing to get there, but Godzilla's just nah, man, I'm just gonna dig a hole.
I know you're down there. Okay.
I also wonder how smart is Godzilla? Does he understand all that? That's pretty impressive.
To that end. He could sense Kong in the center of the earth, but he couldn't sense him on Skull Island?
There's the protective dome around him, right? So, I mean...
Wait, did Skull Island always have that protective dome? In the 50s or whenever the first movie? There was no
70s.
Dome. There was no dome.
70s.
No, but I mean, we assume if they have these flying ships and all that other crap, I mean, they can construct a dome that's going to keep his presence,
Okay, so a man-made dome is better than the Earth's crust.
Because science, man, we've evolved. We're smarter than God at this point.
The Earth's crust is a mite thicker than the dome.
And to get to Kong. I'm sorry. If you want to protect Kong, that's one thing. But during the events of King of the Monsters, they didn't push the panic button once and think, hey, we still have that ape that we could probably use right about now because, it's hell on earth, quite literally. No, just leave him locked up.
He wasn't quite tall enough yet. He needed a couple more years.
That's a fail safe.
He had a growth spurt between 2017 and 2021.
And he's like me. He's got a fucking gray beard now. And he's just.
I still have to say, the way they were able to emote with his face and stuff like that, Kong felt so much more like a character in this than he did, and in the previous.
He looked amazing.
Yeah, he looked terrific, man.
Well, they had time to really fuck with it.
So. I know. Mm-hmm. We're gonna sit on it for a year. Should we make him look like the most realistic ape ever on film? Let's do it.
There's just one random CG artist who's just nope, we're not releasing this yet. Then I'm just gonna make every one of these airs just stand out.
Yeah, he just surprised Wingard on the last day. He's got a beard. He hasn't showered in forever. here you go, Adam.
Yeah.
Here's the best Kong you'll ever have on film.
And he's like, all right, bringing you on Thundercats because maybe it makes me wonder if they're going to mocap or like how the hell they're going to go about doing
I'm
it.
excited to see a live action Lion-O.
I am too. I agree.
And as far as Middle Earth fairy Dixieland is concerned, isn't that where Mecha Godzilla is being kept, if I'm not mistaken? Where are the pieces to Mecha Godzilla being kept?
In separate Apex labs, because they had the eyes in the lab that got attacked. And then there were other labs across the globe, as I understood it, and they all brought all the pieces together after Godzilla attacked because they ran out of time.
And they did it like a Megazord. They assembled.
And yet, I don't know. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe they were just working on backup eyes because they had that whole situation where it looked like they'd been feeding skull crawlers to Mechagodzilla to train him for years. And yet the eye was still at the Apex lab. So like, how far along was Mechagodzilla? Was this just a backup eye? Like, there's some incongruous timing there.
See,
did he have laser eyes in the Cosmic Monster? He had a lot of different weapons. I'm trying to remember because if he had laser eyes, maybe they were upgrading to get into laser eyes, and they just hadn't gotten those eyes there yet. And if he had the laser eyes, he would have wiped out that monkey. No, he didn't have laser eyes in this. It was just his red atomic breath.
So wait, help me out. I'm spacing here on how we get from fairy Middle Earth land back up to
Godzilla's hole. Kong goes up the hole, and then the crew follows him up with the gravity machine. And yet they have all the issues going down, but when gravity reverses again, there no issues.
Well,
no
Godzilla did us a favor, so just right through.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about the ship that for no reason shot Kong?
Was it defibrillator? A skyscraper-sized defibrillator? Yeah.
Oh, I don't even.
They just realized on the fly that they could, revive him for battle with that.
Not only that, but the Dark Man didn't ever see. Fuego knows what I mean. Yeah, because he played Flag in the Stand series that just
Skarsgård, Eric from True Blood.
So he had never seen the craft before the previous day, and yet he knew how to turn it into a defibrillator. So
a lot of very smart people knowing how to do a lot of things that I would need at least a pamphlet on. These people knew a lot on how to do things, and
doesn't innovation come about with necessity and all that stuff? So people figure shit out right quick, when they absolutely have to. But
yeah, that's how they get out of there is through Godzilla's hole. So
sorry, man, I didn't mean to.
No.
No, I was just going to say, I thought those little beak-looking creatures that they were tussling with down there were pretty dope-looking. And I
little chickens.
Yeah, more like human carnage from those suckers, But, props at least for having some cooler, smaller creatures in that. They look good in my estimation.
It's kind of chicken shit that when Godzilla destroys... What's the Apex? Is that the name of the place? When he blows that place up?
Well, it's a subsidiary of Monarch.
Yes.
Right. Monarch being the tip top of
the Amazon of
and Apex being the tip top. Who's going to associate these two companies?
Yeah. Certainly not the conspiracy guy, I guess.
Yeah. Now, what does Apex have in common with Monarch?
But it kind of bothers me that nobody thought. All right, the lizard monster kaiju, the giant fucking thing that saved us from 16 other like-minded creatures, suddenly went berserk. He's a bad guy now. Now we have to kill him.
Yeah, the 12-year-old girl is the only one that's like, can we take a second thought about this, please? Even the conspiracy guy's like,
it's just everybody's like, man, that guy's a dick.
Wow, Godzilla's an asshole all of a sudden. He attacked a very specific, questionable business, and we don't know why.
With no collateral damage, that fucker needs to go.
But let's get rid of this guy. Let's not ask questions about the company.
That
Which
Thank you, Raiders. I appreciate you knowing Millie Bobby Brown's exact age.
wait, what?
No, Raider says she's 17 because I said Millie Bobby Brown's like a 12-year-old or something.
Oh,
like that.
yeah, dude. I'm glad.
I don't know if you want to be the guy that knows exactly how old Millie Bobby Brown is.
You know what? I'll help Felix because I even said this.
I know,
Emily jumped in towards the end and she's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Just don't ask." There were points where I was like, "Can we get a turtleneck on Millie Bobby Brown, please?" Because I don't want to look. I don't want her. In that, I don't want to look at her and think of her like that.
The nape of her neck.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Nope. She's a little girl with a shaved head, as far as I'm concerned. I get it. You're trying.
She likes waffles.
Yeah.
Stop sexualizing her.
Yeah. Just listen. I get it. You want the 14-year-old boys who do want to be turned on by her.
Look,
Granted,
let's be honest.
It's not like she was in a bra and panties, but it was just put a
You
shirt
have
on.
a movie with giant monsters. You don't need to overstuff the turkey with 14-year-old sex bait.
That's what you think.
Jesus, I guess in my day, when I was 14, a giant monster was all I needed to
Dude,
jerk
back
off.
in my day, all I needed was Godzilla jumping up and down because he had electricity in him.
Doing the fucking Liu Kang kick, like bicycle kick without the bicycle part. Like Jesus,
you kids know nothing about movies.
I mean, this is a pretty sexualized Godzilla just by himself. He's so thick now, guys.
Whoa.
He's thick. Oh, you know what though? They toned down the thickness of them thighs. Now
Did they?
Oh yeah, because he had big elephant trunks in the first movie.
His feet were like
they were massive,
like buildings.
And he lost some of the neck fat too. You know?
He did lose some of his goiter.
It was like head right to torso, pretty much.
Look, he saw 2014 also. He knew imagine the camera adds 10 pounds for us. How many pounds does it add for poor Godzilla?
Okay, fair point.
All right, so bad company trying to make robot Godzilla because evil.
Yeah,
right.
Because Damian Dakar is, just the most one note sort of villain in this.
Yeah, well, there was no other reason to do that, right? It was just to profit off of being able to. I'm trying to remember what was their motivation if
his motivation was supposedly to protect humanity.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
He wanted to be able to have something to fight the kaiju, and yet ultimately it's just a little man wanting to be in control of the most powerful thing that humans have made, of course.
Right.
But clearly Ghidorah had different plans and immediately zeroed in on the guy with the jacket over his shoulders, which granted, if I was going to pick out a guy to squish, it'd be the guy that decided the jacket over the shoulders was the cool one. But whatever.
I didn't even notice he was doing that for a minute. Then I was just like, oh, I don't like you very
much.
He
might as well wear a neon sign saying bad guy.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that did not see a Godzilla teaming up with Kong to fight Mechagodzilla as the ending coming like a freight train? Did anybody not see that happening?
Well, even if it wasn't spoiled, like the moment there's that robot eye in the beginning, I was just like, oh, so this just gives it away right here.
Okay. Yeah.
That's just kind of me though.
Yeah. All right. So to the fun, I guess, is there? I mean, the bad companies making their Mechagodzilla because they can, and they want to profit off of saving.
What's the profit off of? I mean, well, I guess ultimately there would have been
why is the Army defense budget so big?
If Godzilla's any indication, then Mechagodzilla would have gotten a Nike deal too, because Godzilla did back when he fought Charles Barkley. The comic of which I do have, by the way. I do have that comic. And Godzilla did wear Nikes.
He did.
To fucking battle Charles Barkley. So look,
that's
amazing.
Barkley
was playing for the Suns at the time.
Let's have Mechagodzilla hawk some of these fucking Nikes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's weird.
Better him than Little Nas X. Let's be honest.
Because
topical.
It feels like if you just go ahead and go to the moment where Godzilla fucks with the company, whatever, Apex. If they just address that situation, you have no reason for a film.
Yeah,
because this movie is Godzilla versus Kong because we want it to be, and I don't want to say that. I don't want to say this, but Alien vs. Predator did a better job of making you feel like it was a more necessary movie. I
like Alien vs. Predator.
I do too, but
Requiem sucks, but AVP1 is a good time.
It's not bad. I mean, the unrated cut's significantly better, but
Freddy versus Jason.
Freddy versus Jason, you beat me to it.
These versus movies are just all on the same level for me. About 3 out of 5, but silly good fun.
Yeah, well, yeah. We're about ready to get to it. The third act is if you need to watch something about this movie, it's the third act.
It's a great act to just YouTube clips. Just grab all those.
Yeah.
And those,
yeah. And that's Wingard really showing off, because I doubt Hong Kong looks that gorgeous at night because all the purples and
depends on the angle you take the picture.
That's the one thing I have to ask, though. So obviously attacking Apex, that made sense because they were building Mechagodzilla or Mecha Jaeger or whatever you want to call it. But well, I mean, yeah, because you have the human mind controlling it and everything. But why did he attack Hong Kong? That's the one thing I'm struggling to remember.
Good question.
Because that's where Mechagodzilla was assembled.
But
Mechagodzilla he attacked Hong Kong for the same reason he attacked Apex.
Oh, because
that's where Mechagodzilla was assembled.
Yeah, it was assembled, but I mean, a lot of collateral damage within the city. I mean,
Godzilla gives a shit. He just go into Mechagodzilla. He don't give a shit who's in his way.
I guess you're right, but
is he about? Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm so sorry. Hang on! Oh my god! I'm so sorry. Let me.
What?
No, that's Godzilla, like stepping around people.
I was like, are you
that's not how Godzilla. No. I'm just saying that's not how Godzilla's gonna do things. Like come on shore and be like, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Let me try to get to the. No, he's just gonna go
smash his
to
way.
Apex. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, wasn't it that because didn't Mechagodzilla start putting out the Apex signal or the cry or whatever from the Mako from King of Monsters, the thing that could like control the Titans? Didn't it start putting out that kind of signal? And isn't that what drew Godzilla? Am I wrong about that?
No. Okay. Godzilla knew when Godzilla attacked Apex, where all he saw was its fucking eye. He apparently knows when something is being created to try and contend with him. Yeah. Again, I'm not saying it's a good reason for this stuff to happen, but it's the reason in the continuity of the movie is that he knows when something is being done to try and rival him, except for Kong on Skull Island. Again, I'm always going to go back to that because it's so fucking dumb.
Well, it was airtight. He couldn't smell him. So.
What's strange is
the center of the earth isn't airtight, Lindsey.
But the funny thing is, if you want to watch, these two fight, that's great. But why do we need that first 45 to 60 minutes of that shit? Like it's not at all.
Because they have to patty cake before they join together.
Then go rent Shin Godzilla or go watch Civil War and do some sort of thing where you're talking about the effects of King of the Monsters, and you're like, guys, we have to prepare some shit because this isn't good. Like we have to have some plan in place because these great big monsters are going to kill us, and we need to know what to do in case it happens again. I got it. We'll build a robot.
Yeah. I do really want to watch Shin Godzilla, by the way, because I love that director.
Brilliant.
He's made some stuff that I really like.
It's brilliant, but it's the polar opposite of this because it's just like courtroom argument. It's government. The movie. That's what it is.
I have it, but I never really gave it an honest shot. I put it on, and I got to be honest. I just fast forwarded to the monster parts. And the fact that Godzilla evolves, I was like, "What the fuck is that? That's not Godzilla. What the fuck is that?"
There's something wrong with that
context of the movie. Yeah. Is this weird thing he's gonna fight? Because Jesus, this is gonna be over fast. But no, I need to actually give it an honest go because everyone after our trailer reaction, we were like, "This looks silly." It's like, ooh, this trailer reaction didn't age well. It's like, the movie ain't that great, is it? Jesus.
Well, who, Shin Godzilla or Kong?
Shin Godzilla. No, Shin Godzilla.
Shin Godzilla is good.
I know. I need to give it a fair shot.
It's a different cup of coffee. Like what I'm saying is, take some. You've already nitpicked certain pieces of Truman Show, Hunger Games, The Core. I don't know. That's my new goal, is to just list all the movies that Godzilla versus Kong feels like, and just keep cherry picking and just give me I get it. You just want to blow shit up. You want two big dumb things fighting, but how about just a little reason, just a little story to go on top, just a little bit? Is that too much? Can we handle that?
Here's what I would like to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, and I mean, the one thing I was going to say is that as underdeveloped as the human characters in that 2014 version were, dare I say, since that film had a bleak, like dark tone compared to all of these other ones, and so even though the characters were relatively undeveloped, I still empathized a little bit more because the situation seemed just that much more catastrophic and messed up and just dark and dire and all that. So yes, we know everything that came after in this Monsterverse of sorts was reactionary filmmaking. People were like, it's too dark, we don't see the monsters enough, whatever. So I can see why they course corrected, but I mean, still there is that's one of the few praises that I do have for 2014 is that I felt like it seemed kind of like insurmountable for the humans in that film compared with none of the humans seemed in any particular danger in any of these other films.
Right.
Yeah. If I get it. People hate it. If there's credit to. I've never thought of putting aluminum foil.
I've never thought of putting bubble wrap under my chair before, but.
Oh, sorry. Did you guys was that super loud when I did that little scooch? Oh, my bad.
Is there a pile of Doritos right under your wheel?
This chair is on its last legs, and I am currently hunting for a new one. Let's say that. Although I'm still trying to figure out why it looks so. Because I'm this pale. Like, why am I? Whatever. I'm having technical difficulties.
That is not the chair, sir.
There are not many people that can be whiter than me, Lindsey, and you are achieving it. Let me be honest.
Yeah,
okay,
that same contingent.
Thanks for tuning in to 4 white boys talk about Godzilla tonight. I hope everyone's having a great evening so far.
A little difference in color.
Chauncey, we miss you.
Yeah, get on it, Chauncey.
What I was gonna say is I think where they should go from here, honestly, if we're gonna throw out anything like that, I don't know that CP obviously didn't solicit for it, but I think what would be the most interesting, now that we've established that Kong can have such emotion and even talk, obviously via sign language, and now that we know that Godzilla can emote as well, let's go back and give me the story of the Kongs versus the Zillas way back then. Tell the story of the Kongs like Caesar in the Planet of the Apes movies. You can tell a coherent story without them actually talking, but have them emote, show the family, show all that, show why they're tussling and how this war ends up with just one Kong and one Godzilla left over. That would be pretty fucking interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't need to worry about squeezing in human shit.
We don't exist yet.
You could go an hour and a half, hour 45, be in and out, and you don't have any chuffa.
Interesting.
I see. I don't understand does Warner consider this franchise successful? Is an important question.
I don't think we'll know for a few more weeks.
No, the franchise 14, Kong and King of the Monsters. Does it think domestically that they have a viable product here?
I think each film turned a profit, right? And in some cases, of a
domestically.
They know their bread and butter with something like this. It's about the international audience. It's why we got the second Pacific Rim movie, because it made so much internationally.
Right.
Well, I guess my point would have been, see what the fuck they want. What do they not like? What do they want to see more of? Because America wants to see monkey fight lizard. Great, but the rest of the world are the ones paying for this shit. What do they want to see?
they want to see Hong Kong get destroyed instead of New York. So they destroy Hong Kong instead of New York. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had it with New York getting destroyed.
Yeah.
So cliche.
There was a moment where my brain kind of broke. I was like, wait, so this is a Japanese character that we've adapted into American media, destroying Hong Kong.
Which is now controlled by China. So you just
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's layers.
Yeah.
So the third act is just a porn of action.
It's a satisfying smash out, drag down experience. Like when there's something about that nuke beam being drawn to that axe that is intrinsically just interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you know why?
Because it's the scale.
Yeah.
But it's just such a fun concept. I never would have thought of that before. And it just, the fact that someone did it, just like, all right, you get a point for cleverness.
Agreed. It didn't make sense in the trailer, but once you see it in context, I was like, oh, okay.
I feel like we rip Godzilla off with his electricity thing and all of his power because Kong takes it. We've experienced two movies where Godzilla went, like when he went nuclear, he fucked his opponent up. And what Kong, the dude who had to grow to be a decent competitor, can take everything Godzilla's got for him, like that to me felt a little. Maybe I'm just anti-Kong, but like, come
you
on,
anti-Kongite.
Yeah, fucking guy was spitting fucking electric nuclear chaos, and Kong just like, ouch.
Yeah, I definitely love me some Kong, and maybe that's why I was a little forgiving of that because
really okay,
and since it was more so Kong's movie than Godzilla's movie from a narrative standpoint, so
right from him scratching his ass. Right the first
exactly.
You know who the main character is when it shows you scratching their ass.
It wouldn't have been interesting if he just legit got his ass whooped. They had to try to do something, to make it seem slightly evenly matched, even though we had a very clear victor and Kong lost both fights. So I mean, let's be honest here.
Who's the victor?
Yeah.
Sorry, I watched Airplane recently.
Is the victor
Great movie.
clear? Is it clear?
Oh my God, yeah, 100%.
I thought it was clear in both fights. I mean,
they even tried to say
Godzilla's
Kong
clear.
won round 2, and then Godzilla got up and whooped his ass again.
Because Skarsgård says that at one point.
Godzilla won every
this
round.
round goes to Kong.
And then they're like, people are like, well, okay, so Mechagodzilla defeated Godzilla, but Kong defeated Mechagodzilla, so technically Kong is stronger than Godzilla. It's like, no, Kong only defeated Mechagodzilla because Godzilla charged his axe. Yeah. Otherwise, no. And because Russell spilled his drink. That's the only, or the other guy's drink. But that's literally the only reason Kong beat Mechagodzilla was because Godzilla charged his axe, and B, the drink was spilled.
So I guess did Mechagodzilla achieve unlimited power? Is that what all that was? To get to the core, to get the frequency of the energy for the source, and then they can use it to charge the mecha because they downloaded the information of the energy through that robot or something?
They said they didn't know enough about the energy to know exactly what it would do with the mecha. Okay. So, it seemed, yes, it did feel, sorry, I didn't mean to jump in. No, it felt like, it was meant to be like an unlimited power source, but then the brain of Ghidorah decided to take over. At least that's what I took away from it.
I kind of wanted his red beam to turn into like Ghidorah's lightning when that happened.
Yeah, the yellow, right? It should have been yellow. That would have been cool.
And then, like, all the red that was all over him would suddenly be like that. That would have been interesting. And why did he have to? Okay, I'm in nitpick mode now. Why did Mechagodzilla have to look like Godzilla? Like, you're not putting a lizard suit on him. Like, I get it. You want to flex on Godzilla, but like, is that it? I feel like there was. If you just wanted like peak battle efficiency, there's better designs you could have gone for than just big robot lizard.
I think it amounts to the hubris of man.
Yeah,
right.
Okay.
I can build a better version of you to defeat you.
Yeah, okay. I can see that.
Well, and that makes sense with the arrogance of that character. You know,
Yeah.
Yes.
delightful one-dimensionality. So.
Yeah, wearing the jacket over the,
Yeah.
the arrogance is on display.
Fucking bad guy jacket.
And then the fact that homie podcaster is like, yo, I want to hear the rest of that speech, man.
So the Monsterverse is yet another case of Warner Brothers seemingly rushing things where they, if they took their time, we really could have had.
Are you rushing or are you dragging?
We could have had.
They were working on this when King of the Monsters released.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't. Why not flip it? Like what?
This was one of my most anticipated of 2020. It was meant to be early 2020. Like this shit has been done for a while.
Mm-hmm. All right. So all right. Where if you can't go backwards, where do you go from here?
I already said my piece, so you guys do it.
You can't go backwards.
Yeah, that's what.
Can't go back to the old story.
Yeah, you got to go forward. Now what?
Okay.
Aliens,
all right, I'll wait my turn then.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to go full crazy here. I know we've briefly talked about them before. Oh my god, I'm so out of focus. This webcam's terrible. Has anyone seen the animated anime-style Godzilla movies on Netflix? I call them the Godzilla boring trilogy. Oh, they're so bad. But you know what? Just go there. Just like Godzilla takes over Earth. We have to evacuate, and then we have to come back, and he's like a super-duper Godzilla.
He's literally continent-sized.
Pretty much. And Mechagodzilla is like a city instead of, like a robot. It's like a literal city. Just go insane with it. Don't even try to have it be continuous or make sense or anything. Just go full blown out of your mind. Although I guess you can't do good
work.
Right. I guess they can't do the third film, which was Ghidorah as like an extra dimensional like space ghost or something like that, because those movies are just on all the drugs you can imagine. But I know it though, good, because he's dead. They killed him. Oh, and he comes back as the extra dimensional ghost monster. Boom, guys, I did it.
Fuego?
Yeah,
I mean, answer.
Well, I mean, the only answer that I can really think of that really quickly back to your point about maybe they rushed things here with getting to this conflict when they did. I'm positive Toho had something to do with it. Maybe Warner Brothers Legendary had an amount of pictures within that they could actually feature the character unless they renew this deal and figure stuff out. So I'm still kind of skeptical, especially with no post-credit scene. If we're going to get another American Godzilla anytime soon, but if we could, I still think since Legendary owns the rights and stuff, we do the Pacific Rim crossover. I mean, that's what I would love.
That only seems fitting. I felt terrible thinking to myself, I actually had a little bit more fun with Pacific Rim at points.
The first one. First one's awesome.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Second one's dumb fun.
Yeah.
I like the second one. Thank you, Cecil. I feel like I'm the only person who does.
Big robot, big monster, fighty. I'm happy.
I'll go off the grid while you buy time, Cecil. Since we went fucking berserk with the Middle Earth shit and whatever the fuck you got going on down there, I say it appears to be a new thing anyway. Multiverse it and have there be some sort of transport Rick and Morty hole where something makes its way over and we got to deal with it, and Godzilla and Kong need to team up or something. So like we got to fight something. Because
wasn't there like a Godzilla Wars movie or like different versions? What did they just
Godzilla the Final Wars, which was directed by Ryuhei Kitamura, who went on to do No One Lives with Luke Evans, as well as the more recent Downrange. He's a very gory horror director, but he
also did Midnight Murder Train. Yeah.
Where Godzilla defeated the 98 Godzilla, otherwise known as Zilla.
I alter my entry. I want an R-rated Godzilla. Just fucking, just people getting crushed. Just fucking streets full of blood. It's just raining blood because it's just people and
two Godzillas grabbing a third Godzilla and just ripping it in half.
None of this green shit, neither.
Give me the feel of that scene in the recent terrible Hellboy movie where the monsters come out and just start destroying humans and cutting them in half and eating them and impaling them on spikes. Give me that, but in the Monsterverse. No, I totally agree with that, CP, although I have a separate answer.
Okay.
So I kind of already said it would be fun to see Godzilla and Kong versus all monsters, but in lieu of that, I think...
Wait, who's Lou?
Nah. You literally made my window smaller just to say that. But what I think would be, again, trying to get the humans out of it. What happens when the human species go extinct? So what happens with all the monsters when humanity dies out? Is there a big full-out battle for the domination of Earth? Or what happens? You know, like I'd be interested to see maybe that story. That
would be neat. That would be neat.
I'd be down.
And it could play into the whole global warming thing, where like no matter how much you try to fix shit, you're making it worse. And maybe a handful of people make it, and they get to speak sign language to Kong. And
and who's to say that the Titans aren't Mother Nature's appendages? You know, that are there to keep the herd down.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, what's the overall temperature we have of this movie? Like, I think it's
blue.
Yeah, okay, that's probably accurate.
I had to. I just.
It's also the warmest color.
That movie.
That's a crossover right there that we need to have. Blue is the warmest color in Godzilla.
Hey, listen, if we're getting R-rated Godzilla,
sounds like a Japanese movie that I could see, though.
We're getting some 69 with Mothra. It's going downtown Julie Brown in that movie. Shit, I lost my position.
Godzilla tail doing work, man. Hentai.
What was I saying? Help.
Okay, so but the ultimate crossover of Godzilla versus Power Rangers, like is that happening anytime soon here?
Well, because they're remaking Power Rangers right now. It's like doing a movie just a couple of friggin' years ago. They're rebooting it already. So
and that wasn't that
no precedent for that at all. No, not at all. That doesn't ever happen.
Well, they put the cart before the horse with that Elizabeth Banks one. They said they were going to make like 6 movies, and then the first one didn't do very good, and they're like, nah, cut it out. Sorry.
Oh, you mean like they announced the Elizabeth Banks Invisible Woman before the Invisible Man had even come out yet?
I remember hearing about that. We joked about it on the news.
Yeah. That's why announcements, grain of salt with those announcements. Christian Bale.
You take that back. Those announcements are the bread and butter of our horror news with booze. Goddammit!
Listen, you're on a show where we fucking it's our heartbeat, for fuck's sake. But like Christian Bale signs on for 3 Terminators. Can't wait. Can't wait to see Christian Bale 3 times in a Terminator series.
There's no way he'd sign on if they weren't actually going to do all 3.
Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
And then it was more entertaining to see him ranting behind the scenes than it was anything he did in the actual movie. Because that's Worthington's movie for sure.
Yeah. And poor I lost your name, you poor soul. He did really well too in that movie.
Anton Yelchin. Yeah.
Anton Yelchin. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Peacefully, man.
Yeah.
Hell of an actor.
Really that. Thomas was so fucking great. If you guys haven't seen that,
remake.
Anton Yelchin performance. Thomas, fucking fantastic.
Odd Thomas, is that what you said?
If you haven't seen that,
I haven't seen it.
Great movie.
One of the few DP things I'll recommend.
Yeah, but it's a really good fucking movie, and he's awesome in it.
What Green Room's another one, same thing.
Green Room is
so
awesome.
good.
I even like Charlie Bartlett with him and
that was okay.
One movie. I like that one.
That was okay. I had a good time with Charlie Bartlett. All right, so I don't think any of us were too happy with it, but we weren't disappointed or hated it. I mean, I wanted to really like it. I didn't. But like, I'm not like, yeah, fuck that movie.
Yeah.
The third act, you know, I'll put that on instead of looking at a fish tank.
I gotta be honest, they spoiled me, you know, like Marvel has. They didn't give me any post-credits thing or anything like that. I was really hoping for something, but now it feels like the Monsterverse, they're like, we don't know. We don't know if we want to. Like, we had planned for Kong and then King of the Monsters and then Kong versus Godzilla, but beyond that, we'll see if it's worth all the money we're spending.
Well,
I actually
that's
heard
what I'm saying the rights, man. You know, and trying to
Oh, yeah.
But you know, Wingard went on record and said, yes, we filmed a post-credit scene that was deliberately supposed to be that, but we ended up folding it into a part of the movie, and we felt it was more organic. So
Yeah,
What
no,
was that?
I think it was the little ending there where they've got like the little base, because I read the same thing before you go. The little base that they have in Middle Earth after it's all said and done. Because there's something about the way this movie ends that's really weird. Like they say, okay, cool. Are we cool? Yeah, we're cool. And then like they walk off, and then yay, Middle Earth, everything's happy, and then credits rolled. So there's something odd about the end of this movie. Or it was
Into the faux sunset.
Yeah.
and also the oddness of the song choice at the end of the movie, just like at the beginning of the movie.
A little happy.
Where did I breathe? And I'm
Yeah.
oh, I forgot about that. That's right.
They're just like, hey, he's not breathing air, guys. We don't know what this is.
but he's adapted enough where he's okay.
But so the only film of the series that I'll give credit for feeling like what it should is 2014. It felt dismal. Like it felt dismal. Like
No.
well, I listen, all right, the movie sucks, but the tone fits. Like Hong Kong gets destroyed by two giant creatures.
It might be the most complete of the stories, like the most, like without all the loose ends or anything like that. No, 2014.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Might be the most self-sufficient, you know, complete single story of them all.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a
It doesn't
post-credit
rely on anything else. It doesn't lead to anything else necessarily.
Yeah, I would say it set the table, and you know, some people didn't want to put anything down and eat at that table. They just said, "Nah, we got our own food."
Now, since I can't recall, was there a post credits for 2014? Or
wasn't there? There was there where they found the
they showed the island that was a skull.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember.
Okay. I forgot about that too. Did Kong Skull Island have a mid-credit scene?
Oh,
no,
yes,
it had an end credit scene. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, where they went
where it showed Godzilla versus Ghidorah in a painting.
Oh,
cave paintings.
Right. That's right. Okay, all right, never mind.
It
apparently
confuses me so much. I don't know what the fuck are their plans.
Are there any?
Yeah,
well, their plan is to fire their CEOs and everything every couple of years and just reboot everything.
A bit of news that we're going to repeat next week. Chauncey, I told her we would, when she comes back, we're going to do news. But Warner says after 2021, they're going back to the theater.
Oh, really?
The theater mold.
The HBO Max thing will be done?
I don't know if it'll be done, but they're going to go to theaters exclusively, and maybe that'll be a tighter window.
Yeah, probably.
like Universal has or something.
Well, there was also a report today that they're still not certain if Dune is going to go to HBO Max because Denny is still so pissed off, and that's up in the air. It's up in the air because that one might actually be theatrical only. So,
well, yeah, I mean, hey, how about you make a really good movie first, and then see how it works. You fucking idiots.
I mean, Dune
talking about Wonder Woman 84 was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's the problem. People don't want to spend money because they're home. That's what the problem is, Warner.
Well, I mean, speaking of Warner, I'm sure we'll touch on it next week when we do some news stuff, but you know, they canceled James Wan's Trench-produced film, and they also
the New Gods.
And the New Gods. Yeah, so that was something I was going to bring up if we covered news today.
Yeah, I knew the Trench was a sinking ship, so to speak.
It didn't make any sense
from the very beginning,
in the first place. But New Gods, especially with Ava working on it and stuff, and who was the comic writer that was assisting her with it, Cecil? Do you know offhand?
I don't know offhand.
Or I could just click.
Oh, Tom King.
Tom King. Yes, that's the guy.
Yeah, Tom King, who did the most fantastic fucking Batman run of all time, or not of all time, but did 100 issues where it was a giant Bane story, and now he's overdoing Batman and Catwoman, and it's 4 issues into a 12-issue story where it's actually the comic book sequel to Batman: Mask of the Phantasm.
Holy crap!
You
guys didn't know that? No, literally, the Phantasm and the girl that was the Phantasm is back. Andrea, like all of it is back, and it ties into like they're tying it into the final story between like an elderly Catwoman and an elderly Joker. It's really fucking cool. So if you're interested, Batman and Catwoman by Tom King is kicking ass right now.
Wow.
Do we have anything else on GVK? Otherwise, we'll segue into either chat questions or news.
I wonder how much of this movie was written and completed before Batman v Superman, and how much of it was changed after Batman v Superman. Like, you know what I mean? Because like, there's an undeniable like Batman v Superman-iness about like.
I mean, it's undeniable Freddy versus Jason-ness and AVP-ness about it too. I think
that's true.
The Venus.
Actually, the difference would be those didn't.
It's got a
end
very
with
big Venus.
It's like the team up at the end that I wonder. It's like that's the thing that like seems to be.
Dude,
I don't know. Maybe
I'm telling you, the second the Mechagodzilla, I was like, nope, 2-on-1. It's crystal clear.
And I mean, it was a bummer that got leaked the way it did, because the toy reveal and all that stuff.
Oh, was it a toy again? It's always toys. It's always goddamn
always toys lately,
always
man.
Toys,
yeah. And I mean, people had all of their theories and stuff about was it going to be a Mecha Ghidorah and all these different stuff, but yeah,
that's a thing, right? Mecha Ghidorah, wasn't that a recurring bad guy for a bit?
There was a Mecha King Ghidorah, yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. Well, that could still happen.
That could be a future thing too, where I don't know.
They kind of used his skull already this time, so it would feel a little uninspired if they just went to.
Because Warner's just been full of inspiration.
Granted, but I mean, even for them.
Well, they only used 2 of the skulls. There's a third one out there, right?
No, they got incinerated. Godzilla ate one.
Oh, that's right.
Godzilla literally swallowed one of the heads.
Yeah. He had to have shit it out somewhere. Just go find it.
It just passed through in one
You
piece.
don't know how Godzilla's endocrine system works. Maybe the nuclear energy breaks down the bones.
That is one thing I liked in this was Kong's eating habits too, man. Like when he ripped the head off that thing and it's just like slurping down. And
if that was red though,
it was like, ooh. Yeah, it was like purple. It wasn't really red.
Yep, can't show the red to keep the PG-13. So even if it's creatures, I guess.
I'm with you though, CP. When you said this, I think here's the thing. So Steve Niles wrote a book, a comic book, and if you guys don't know who Steve Niles is, he's the guy that created 30 Days of Night in comic book, and then went on to do a bunch of stuff. He's collaborated on a shit ton of TV at this point, but he wrote a book called Giant Monster, where there's literally a giant monster that just scoops up people and eats them, and like gets bigger with every bit of thing that he consumes. And like that's the kind of kaiju movie I really want, like CP said. Like, give me all that carnage, because like we haven't gotten it yet.
That would be horrific.
Like it's just fucking Deadpool on a kaiju scale, Logan on a kaiju scale. Don't hold back. Really give us that shit. Don't give us Godzilla eating people, but give us the other kaiju fucking being horrible and eating people.
Not only that, you could have your human element, and then every now and again it's like a fucking horror movie. Guess what? You're just chips. You're a snack to this dude. No more of that story.
Attack on Titan starts with a giant Titan coming in and eating 2 little kids' mother in front of them. Like, you could absolutely have the human story be that.
Yeah,
like Jesus Christ, how aggressive but awesome would that be?
Yeah, we're so childish about protecting ourselves.
Well, and I mean, hasn't it been just evidence that with the success of R-rated comic properties and things like that, whether the Deadpools or Logans or whatever else, people are very up for a violent sort of thing, whether it's big monsters or superheroes, and get the boys, whatever. So,
and you know what? If you made a great big kaiju R-rated eating people movie, how would idiot high schoolers replicate that? You wouldn't be able to blame some school shooting on R-rated kaiju.
Very true. Dinosaurs Attack was a card line from the 80s that I absolutely loved, and it was from the same people who did Mars Attacks, and it was some of the most gruesome images that I had ever seen. Dinosaurs tearing people on a picnic in half, and it was just grotesque. I still have the entire set. I wish they would make something like that.
You want a good animation like that? Look up Blood Sea. Just look up Blood-C on YouTube, the bloodiest parts of Blood Sea. You will see creatures like literally, there's one where a creature just wishbones a woman and then eats one half and then eats another half. Like, it's just fucking crazy. If you want, like, do that on a kaiju scale, and you're gonna fucking, I mean, again, if you guys haven't watched the new Hellboy, I don't recommend it, but I do recommend watching the 5 minutes where hell gets released on Earth.
In the third act. Yeah.
Big fucking creatures come up and like just start wailing on humans. And I'm like, this is the movie we need. This is like, show me the fucking I mean, tie it into something recent. The Zack Snyder nightmare sequence where it's humans avoiding the giant creatures that'll just, if they see you, they will impale you with their fucking finger and just go, you know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. That's that
was the one time when I was watching that movie where I felt awake, when those like Dagon Cthulhu wannabe things started just like coming up out of like the Thames River in England, and just I believe it's called
the Thames, but go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's Thames River. I apologize. I shouldn't have.
It's all right. My wife will forgive you.
Tim should learn how to spell his name.
So Spiral. They gave us a new trailer since we were last together.
Yeah.
I think most of us have done a reaction. Some of us were making shark shit that has way too much view counts. But thoughts? What do we think, gentlemen? Horror gentlemen, about Spiral?
I'm excited.
You're not a horror gentleman, but go ahead.
Fine. No, it's a reboot of a franchise that's got interesting potential that I feel like kind of got off its own rails and didn't really live up to its potential. So I'm interested. It doesn't mean it's going to be good.
How do you feel about Chris Rock in it?
It's a sequel.
Oh yeah, it's the same.
Oh, it's not a reboot; it's a sequel.
Yeah,
it's a rebeatable kind of thing.
Yeah, because they showed a picture of
Jigsaw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't there for the trailer reaction, unfortunately. I was busy with some crap. But
have you seen it?
I watched it. Cecil and Dave did a trailer reaction to it. I watched it after the fact. I found it more compelling than the previous trailer, which ironically, when we saw Godzilla vs. Kong, they showed the old trailer with the old release date in the theater. And
May 2020.
Yeah, we just chucked it to ourselves in the theater.
Coming out 17 months ago.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it looks the biggest thing that this has going for it, obviously, is the urban element. And I love Samuel L. Jackson. I still feel like Chris Rock is kind of miscast, but the idea was his, and granted he had other people write the screenplay and whatever, but he had this original idea, and he went and approached I guess the Saw people or something. And I don't know, I didn't watch past the third one. It's not a beloved franchise of mine. I'm a little less into the torture porn, so
it's a niche market.
It is.
We reviewed all the movies.
Yeah, you and Marcia, right?
No, me and someone that's no longer on the
channel.
channel.
God, that's right. Sorry.
Do you know?
No.
Oh.
My ex. I'm on Stevie's channel, my cunty ex.
There you go. This is an R-rated show.
It's the only place I can say it comfortably.
No worries, bro.
But yeah, no, we watched all of them, and I'm a big fan of the series. Obviously, there's a couple of real weak ones in the middle, but it is one of the most cohesive movie-to-movie continuities in horror, and that has to be kind of applauded. And then they actually bring, or without getting all the way into it, they bring people back all the time, cast members, and especially key cast members. So I like the fact that they are trying to not tell the same story, but keep it in the universe. And to me, it strikes me as the cult of Jigsaw. It strikes me as like people following his ways, and that we kind of got a taste of that towards the end of the last one.
The Jigsaw wasn't terrible. The one
no, it wasn't. But that's the one where Carrie Ewell shows up at the end, right? As one of his followers, right?
Yeah.
So from the very first movie, now he's back at the end of the 7th as part of the followers of Jigsaw. So I think it's going to kind of continue that. We got a brand new puppet. We got a piggy puppet this time. So
a piggy puppet in a cop outfit. Interesting.
We'll see how that goes. But the interesting thing is in the first trailer, because having watched the new one basically back to back with the old one due to the Kong versus Godzilla thing, they show the dude on the train tracks tied up with the train coming towards him, but the old trailer shows the aftermath of all the body parts on the train tracks.
Oh no!
God damn it!
Yeah,
oh, that's fun.
So that guy ain't getting out of it. Like, don't get your hopes up for him. But yeah. So here's the thing about Chris Rock as a serious actor. I never would have thought Jim Carrey could have pulled it off. I never would have thought numerous comedic actors would have been able to pull it off. I'm willing to give Chris Rock a more than the benefit of the doubt. In the first trailer, I feel like he was a little more natural because he's talking to his partner in the car. He's like, whatever, 3 Thursdays ain't worth 100 Saturdays or whatever the fuck he said. I thought that felt a little more natural for him. So I feel like we're going to get the Chris Rock you expect when he's talking to his partner and being himself. But then when he has to buckle down and be a cop, he'll be more serious, like any normal human would. So I'm not so stuck on him being a comedian that I can't buy him in this role.
I don't care about his comedic background. I'm worried about what we saw in. What is that?
What is that?
Is that me or is that you guys?
I don't know.
We've started with it recently too.
Okay.
Yeah. What? Do we all have headphones? No, what the fuck's going on?
It had for a while. It's been that way for like 5 minutes now.
I just kind of assumed it would go away.
Yeah, Chris Rock is scaring me. Oh, not scaring me. I have not very little. After seeing the second trailer for Spiral, I'm a little nervous. It's his money. It's his idea.
Yeah.
And what we've seen of him in that trailer are not anything that I would call motivational as far as excitement is concerned. I kept thinking, is that the best take? Is that the best take that they have? And you can't help but wonder. I call it the Bohemian Rhapsody complex. Yeah, he's paying for it. It's his idea. He's starring in it. Different director, but is the director going to be like, hey, that was good, but how about doing it like less shitty this time? Because
you know what the twist of this movie is, right?
What?
Halfway through it, they're going to kill Chris Rock and they're going to bring in Chris Tucker to replace him.
That'd be great. I'll take that.
I love that.
I'll take that. I mean,
it's like, my brother's showing up and he's going to help finish the job.
His lines are laughable in that trailer. Everything's like, I need to know where things are. I'm angry. Who stole the milk in the break room? It's just like, what is happening?
Allow me to step in and make another terrible joke. Obviously, Samuel was revealed to be in a trap at the end of this. So at one point he's going to say, get my motherfucking ass out of this motherfucking trap.
They better do it. They better fucking do it.
Oh, what if this movie brings the snakes in the plane into the Sawverse, and that was actually a Jigsaw trap?
That is a trap, yeah.
He is suspended. He could be over a pit of snakes that we just don't see.
We'll have to find out.
Yeah. And as Jacob said, New Jack City, fantastic job by Chris Rock. I have yet to watch Fargo season 4 yet.
I have heard good stuff about Fargo season 4.
Chris Rock's a good actor. I'm just concerned because this is Darren Lynn Bousman, who's done a couple of Saw movies.
Like two for 6, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what? I don't know, and I'm dying to know, like, what is Chris Rock's idea? Because so far, what we've seen doesn't feel like anything grand and new and revolutionary. It's
He's just a young Danny Glover from the first movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
What if that's what it is?
all right.
They could make some interesting.
Oh, go backwards? Do it. Well, no, because then why would they have the picture?
Yeah, why would he be dead already?
Okay, fair. Sorry, I was getting, it's Saw, so I'm always trying to like outthink the movie.
It just doesn't. I really hope he's got something in his back pocket to make it worth this while. Like, why Chris Rock? He made Top 5, which is a very, very good movie. Good movie.
If there isn't some creative twist at the end, it's going to be like, what was the big idea that he had that made you get pull this out of the? Granted, not two dusty mothballs. You know what I mean? Like, why?
Yeah. I hope it's not just let's just do Saw, but with an urban angle. Like it there better be something to it. I'm not trying. Listen, I'm not just trying. I'm just. It just seems like all of the differences. That's all I can perceive so far. And please tell me there's something to it. There's some sort of trick. There's some sort of something to it that why he would reach out, pay for it, and say, "Oh, I got an idea for Saw."
I mean, he was obviously a fan of the series, I would imagine, and so that's why he was so passionate about getting this made. But,
I'm a fan of Harry Potter. I'm not going to go out there and reinvigorate the series.
Yeah,
well, then you're not a fan.
That's actually what makes me laugh is picturing Chris Rock in his like home theater watching Saw and be like, man, I could kill this shit.
So here's something funny. This Darren Lynn Bousman guy, he directed the first 3 Saw movies. No, the Saw 2, Saw 3, and Saw 4. Yeah. That's what it was.
Okay, so less than I thought. Yeah.
But he also did Repo the Genetic Opera. So
really?
So right?
He likes his score. He likes his score.
Yeah. You just, I don't know. Just throw some. Maybe there's going to be a musical number in this one or something. Like, maybe that's what Chris Rock's bringing to the table this time.
Jacob, don't defend him. Depends on how connected it is, but I think the cop's son from the second movie being the new Jigsaw would be a great twist. There better be some sort of twist.
That would be interesting.
There has to be.
It's a hallmark of the series, though, right? Since I've only seen like 3 or 4 of them or something, but I mean, don't they bring back like former victim after former victim, and they're like working with him, or they want to copycat him?
They do that a couple times. They do that early on, and then they do it again later.
Yeah.
How much weight do you guys put on the theme on that score?
Oh, the Zepp Overture?
Yes. Yes.
Yep, I know what it is. ZEPP. If you guys want to look it up,
it's brilliant.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
That shit is one of the most recognizable fucking themes in horror.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't. Maybe I haven't seen this new trailer. I assumed I had.
It's not in it. It is not in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shut up, CP. Get out of
Overture's in it.
It's 100% in it. Or was it Fuego? Was it in the first trailer that we had to rewatch? And I'm just confusing them because I watched them so close.
Don't trick me. My brain is broken.
No, I guarantee the Zepp was in it. I heard it in one of them. I'll look right now.
If it's the first one, then
it might be. I'll watch the new one right now and find out.
Guys, look, Led Zeppelin is doing the soundtrack for this movie, and it's going to be amazing. Black Dog.
Yeah, they only license out their music to very like cautious projects that they think are worthwhile, and that's something to say. Like Our Friend with Jason, whatever his name is. Anyway,
Momoa, Sudeikis.
It's not Sudeikis. A guy from. Guy from Marshall. Why is his name totally eluding me?
Jason Segel.
Jason Segel, yeah.
Oh, that's Jason.
All right, I'm back to the trailer now. I just had to swoop in and say Fuego.
I like Tangerine and Almost Famous. That was a nice use of that.
Oh, Tangerine, That's the Way. I think Going to California.
Oh yeah, there's a couple. You're right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I fucking love that movie. So
Yeah,
much.
it does.
It's a good one.
I love it when a movie makes you want to live in a period of time.
Do you know what I liked about the Almost Famous score was the fact that they did a whole Stillwater album to go with it.
Yes.
Oh, did
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually because Cameron Crowe is married to the one of the Wilson sisters from Heart, the guitarist, I think Nancy Wilson, and so she composed along with him all of this original music for the movie.
Well,
which is really dope.
he's essentially he's William.
He's the kid.
Yeah.
Patrick Fugit from Outkast. If for all you horror fans,
I like to call him Fugit because Fugit.
Yeah, he was in Spun too.
I'm trying to remember how many Saw movies I've seen. So I know I've seen 1 through 3, and I saw the last one that had like laser beams in it for some reason. But I don't know if I saw any in between 3 and laser beams.
Dude, 4 and 5 blend together. Or
1 through 3 are a trilogy, 4 through 6 are a trilogy, and then 7 is kind of its own capper on the whole thing.
The middle ones, 4, 5, 6, get really weird because
that's what Detective Dickhead.
The protagonist and antagonist look very similar, and you're like, I think I'm having a stroke. I don't know which one of these people is which one's which.
I will just be forever haunted by the scene in the second film that made me want to vomit with all of the
pins,
needles, and the girl had some that still makes my skin crawl at the sheer thought of it, let alone ever wanting to rewatch it. So.
I mean, if there was heroin inside, maybe. But
you know what's great about that? When we went to Halloween Horror Nights one year, they had the Saw maze, and there was one of the parts of it was a girl in a giant fucking glass thing digging through fucking needles and shit. It was really dope. There was another girl, or there was another one where the girl was on the gurney, like looking for help, or it was a dude on the gurney, like looking for help while the girl was digging through looking for the key to her bear trap. It was really
fun. That's intense. Needles are like I've had both my COVID shots now, but both times I had to look away because even in my 30s, I can't do needles, man.
Well, see, what's funny is if you want Saw without all the gore and the fucking nail biting, there's movies like Exam that are essentially the same idea. I guess you can. What was that horror movie? Escape Room is kind of like that,
just minus the gore. PG.
Yeah,
I liked Escape Room though. I thought it was solid.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, especially considering it was like the first week of January.
So, update, CP, you are 100% right. The Zepp Overture was not featured in the second trailer. It was featured in the first trailer.
Okay, that's it. I can go to bed tonight and realize that.
Yeah, you're not sliding.
Yeah, Monday is still Monday for me. That's
No, instead it was like a spiral.
Yeah,
that's all that I remembered from.
Yeah,
a spiral.
And I was like, really? Okay.
It's better than them going like spiral, spiral.
Play the tape. He's the big band.
Well, so the other big trailer this week to veer away from horror. You guys watched that Space Jam trailer?
Oh yeah.
You mean Ready Player 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ, the amount of Warner Brothers cameos in that fucking trailer. Holy shit. Clockwork Orange is in that trailer.
Yeah, it was overwhelming, man. And I had to freeze frame to even like someone tells me there's Pennywise in there, and I'm like, I didn't see Pennywise in the trailer. Turn it up.
Pennywise like 3 people over from the Arnold Schwarzenegger Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
In Space Jam?
Yes. Dude, they show in Space Jam when he's going into Toon World, you pass a big globe that says Westeros, a big globe that says The Matrix, a big, like, all the Warner Brothers properties are in Space Jam.
Hold the phone here.
Did you not watch the trailer, Stevie?
I did not.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, you got to watch.
All right. Let me know if you can hear it with me.
Osworld?
That's interesting.
So these worlds right here. Yeah, CP, go slow. I'll tell you what they are. The first one was Westeros. The second one is Oz.
Westeros. No shit. All right.
Mhm. That's why we saw those little the blue.
It says Game of Thrones. Look, Westeros.
Oh, yeah, it literally says it.
And
You
it
are
says
here.
Game of Thrones thing on there. Yeah.
Oh, you can see the statue from the
It fucking literally says Game of
Game
Thrones.
of Thrones. Yeah, that's what a bunch
Mars.
of there if you look at them.
Oh boy. Okay, here we go.
clown did the reject.
Just slow it to just change the playback to like 0.5.
Oh yeah, how do I do that? Oh no.
The gear.
The gear, yeah. No, the gear you just
Gear.
The gear
No,
that's the gear that says HD.
Oh yeah.
Playback speed.
Speed. What? Half? Half? We go half.
If you want to see them all, you'll go 0.25. But yeah, I mean you can.
Oh
Just,
yeah. All right.
because they go fast. You already passed it. Back a little bit. You gonna go back or?
Oh, that's cute. I love that.
Oh,
little
Yeah, I
wave.
was gonna say this is endearingly.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, here you go.
Neptune.
Neptune.
Hogwarts.
Yeah, Hogwarts is in there. Oh wow, they go super fast.
Yeah.
Westeros is in there. Themyscira is in there from Wonder Woman.
I'm good
Interesting.
to drive. Just give me my key.
And Metropolis on both sides of the planet.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm not sure what the lava planet is. I'm sure if
Oh.
we can.
Maltese Falcon.
Yeah, Maltese
Holy
Falcon. Yep.
Shit, are you kidding me?
Mhm.
Wow.
Because 10-year-olds are gonna know Maltese.
Yeah, they'll
Falcon.
get that. But yeah, see Metropolis on the bottom, and you'll see Gotham with the blimp on the top there.
You saw way more in this than me, man. Holy shit!
I'm impressed. Holy shit. Yeah.
This is. I
took my
guarantee
time.
you. There's a.
That's not even the big stuff yet.
There's a $6 million view. Excuse me, 6 million view video. All the Easter eggs.
101 Easter.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? 3C did one that got crazy views.
No comment.
I know.
I need to assemble
No, Superman.
an elite team to help get my son back.
I know what you're looking for.
Well, wait. I want to see.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's Ready Player 2.
I know what you're looking
The old lady's back, huh?
Uh-huh.
for.
Oh, but God forbid we have Pepe Le Pew.
No, he got eliminated. He had a steam.
Yeah. But they bring in the Clockwork Orange guys. That's a little.
Hey.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a.
Why?
conflict.
Why no Pete Puma? Where's Pete Puma?
Who's Pete Puma?
The guy who drinks the tea and cross dresses. I want a whole lot of lumps.
I don't remember that character at
I
all.
can't say anything either.
I don't know what to tell you, CP. I never attached that one in my
Pete
brain. I don't know.
Puma is the guy where he gets hammered in the head.
We will see Speedy Gonzalez and Slowpoke Rodriguez, though. I
Okay.
believe.
Yeah.
Dude, okay,
The
so you've already
Flintstones?
passed a bunch. You've passed
Okay.
a bunch already.
This is
Go back to the slowdown.
bonkers.
Yeah, it's insane what they did with this.
Yeah.
So yes,
No,
that's the Iron Giant and the one of the dragons from Westeros over
Yeah.
his shoulder.
Wait, there was a building behind the orange army.
Yeah, it said evil scheme or something.
Scientist? Could it be evil scientist?
Scientist. I wasn't sure if that was supposed to be
that looks-
Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated or not, but I'm guessing not.
All right, that's a dragon right there, right?
That's from Westeros. Yep, that's Game of Thrones.
Drogon.
Okay, so we have Jabberjaw, we have Captain Caveman flying, we have Magilla Gorilla on the tightrope, you have Yogi Bear, obviously, the Flintstones, you have a number of others that are a bit
A
blurry.
lot of Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, this is the Hanna-Barbera section right
Yeah, the shark is what?
there. Jabberjaw.
Okay.
No, it's King
That's
Shark.
Bam Bam. And then behind them, yeah, fucking goddamn it. Behind them, you can see the Animaniacs a little bit as well. When the Flintstones pass, they're coming up
Okay.
behind them, I believe.
Nope.
Oh, maybe it's another shot. So in this one, you have Smallfoot. The little Bigfoot right here is the white one. You have King Kong, obviously. Couple of other guys. I'm not sure who they are.
A plane and a fucking balloon and what the fuck?
Fuego said Penny.
Oh,
Poor taste.
wait, is it top left? Is that what's his face?
That's
from
Magilla
Ninja
Gorilla.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
Magilla Gorilla. Right next to King Kong, of course.
Mhm.
All right, so pause. So you have Mr. Smith, you have Morpheus, you have Mr. Freeze, you have a flying monkey, and you have Pennywise all in the
Oh,
front.
there's
row there.
Pennywise. Yeah, right. Far right.
There he is.
And there was a point that somebody in the chat reminded me of. They're like, Pennywise, he eats children, and they have him in a kids movie, but popular property. So because money, right?
Warner.
The
We
guy-
need to talk, Warner.
The guy in the middle is, I'm guessing, supposed to be the equivalent of Drogon from Game of Thrones, the Jason Momoa character.
Who's the blonde? Who's smiling
I'm
a
not
little
sure if she's
awkwardly?
supposed to be like
Not Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn or a Marilyn. She's not colorful enough to be Harley Quinn. Yeah, I don't know who that's supposed to be, honestly.
And is that Winnie the Pooh in the yellow, the far back there, far back
That's
top right?
Disney.
corner?
That's Disney. That can't be.
No, that's not. That looks like Boo Boo.
Oh, right. That's
Boo Boo from Yogi Bear.
that's property. Whoa.
What is AGTV? We've seen that before when they were on the.
All girls.
Look at the Flintstones dinosaur down here.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I think that's the one that one of them slides down when he
Yep. When it's
walks out
time to
at the
go
beginning.
home. Yep.
Mhm.
Oh, they've got, instead of a score, they've got followers, because that's how
God.
sports work.
Of course.
Of course. All right, so we have someone in a yellow cape. Not sure who that is. There's
cannot be
a green
White.
ship of some kind.
Oh, is that Space Ghost?
Space Ghost is in here. Yep. Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Oh
cool.
yeah, that is who the one in the yellow
Yeah,
cape is.
with
Yep.
the yellow cape.
Yep.
Okay,
Space
okay.
Ghost. Yep.
What the?
And it's all background. So yeah, you see Jabberjaw.
Porky's seen better days. Jesus.
That's
Yeah,
their
no,
CG versions. Yeah.
I'm not crazy about
Ugh.
the 3D CG. It looked better when they were in 2D. I think. Maybe
I
that's just me,
agree.
though.
Yeah, the whole Roger Rabbit approach in comparison.
Oh, and also interesting when this trailer came out, I don't think the movie was cast because a couple days after this came out, is when they
Zendaya
announced
for Lola Bunny.
Exactly. So I wonder how much of this.
But she has something in here where she says LeBron or Braun.
Oh,
You
does
hear
she?
the
Oh,
voice say
oh,
Braun. Yeah,
my
coming
bad.
up.
Never mind then.
No. But I agree with you. I don't know if that was her voice or a placeholder voice, or if they just waited to announce her after the trailer.
I like that Daffy Duck's ass is a bit more
Pronounced.
pronounced than anybody's.
Daffy Duck's ass is always erect.
Exactly. He seems like he's actually kind of a good actor too. At least like kind of what we briefly see.
Braun
in
was
this.
great in that fucking Amy Schumer movie. He was
Trainwreck.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So you can go back to normal for a second, CP, just so you can see the reveal of the. This
Elton
isn't
John?
the Monstars from the first one. This is the Goon Squad.
Oh.
And that's where I'm curious because they don't give you an indication if we're going to have actual rival basketball players in this.
Yeah,
Like,
the Goon Squad is the rival basketball players.
I
Who's
know,
the-
but who the NBA players will be, or if that's even going to be a thing or not.
Oh, that's
No, because they do show someone besides LeBron, I thought.
Who's
But I don't
think I
the
remember.
big white animal creature thing? It's
Mhm.
way taller.
Isn't that the just the Yeti?
Some sort.
The Yeti?
Yeah. Isn't he the Yeti from the Rankin Bass stuff or no?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah, that seems about close. Yeah.
Oh, look, pause.
Oh, okay.
So
okay,
no, go back.
okay.
There's a ton of people in the front row you could see in that one. So you see the Jack Nicholson Joker
Yeah.
here next
over
to
to the
the
right.
it
Oh,
looks
wow.
like maybe a
Oh my
guy-
God! Yeah.
And then you see you see the Julie Newmar Catwoman next to the 89 Catwoman.
What the fuck is?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Julie Newmar Catwoman is just a couple over from the Joker, and then the 89 Catwoman's next to her.
Oh yeah.
Who is the person with the white lab coat?
The most I can guess is Doc Brown, but that
I
wouldn't-
was thinking that, but that's Universal.
doesn't-
So
yeah, it doesn't look like Doc. It's got to be a different character.
Is Mad Max a Warner Brothers thing? Is that a War Boy next to the Joker?
Yeah, he's a war boy.
That's cool. That's cool.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, I think, is Warner. Maybe it's one
Yeah,
of those.
keep going. We'll see more. But yeah, if it was all dude, this is going to be one of those that like Ready Player One. I'm gonna
Yeah,
yep, Clockwork Orange.
what are these? Fucking Clockwork Orange. What's on the left there? Who are these blue people?
So that's the Night King from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, the big one on the left is the Night King.
And who are the people?
Those are the Night Bitches. No, I don't know. What that is.
Kitara towards the top right.
Well,
Oh yeah.
That's Kitara.
Holy shit!
Very good eye.
Wait,
So
so
Cowboys in the center. Who would they?
yeah, with the really long beard,
Are
Duck Dynasty.
Deadwood?
Is that?
I'm
I mean,
gonna
that's
say Duck Dynasty.
HBO, but
Those Game of Thrones.
Oh, it could. Yeah, it could be. It could be.
Wait, there's probably stuff in the background there too, but
Yeah,
everything's so blurry you can only make out like the very front row.
Mm.
So there's a shield down on bottom there next to some war boys. So that's everything that I basically saw.
so talk about a geekgasm, right? Like, oh my god.
Wow.
Wait, so that thing that Granny does is worth 30 points? Like, what kind of rules for basketball are we talking about here?
You're worried about.
You're worried about the rules.
Yeah. What the?
At least keep the integrity of the game solid, guys. Come on.
This is a facility where the followers are the most important thing for the scoreboard.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, true.
I wonder if they're gonna call back to the original. If like Bugs is gonna be like, "Yeah, you're no Michael Jordan, but you'll do," or something. That was a terrible Bugs impression. Like,
cameo, maybe cameo.
That's what I was just about to say. It makes me wonder.
maybe. Yeah. What else is Michael Jordan gonna do except just be rich and retired? Like,
Yeah, I mean, you can't act like you could still play. Stop it. Put him in.
I wouldn't be surprised if he like Schwarzenegger did though, where he's like, no, unless you give me a big enough part, I'm not going to do that shit.
this isn't gonna happen. But what if Michael Jordan is a bad guy in this?
That'd be
That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm in.
Like the boss? That'd be dope.
That'd
Yeah.
be pretty cool.
Him and the people from Clockwork Orange. Those are his teammates.
No, I'm just like being the big basketball fan that I am. I'm envisioning Jordan. He would never do something like this, as Lindsey just mentioned. But he's like,
Right.
"You'll never be better than me, LeBron," like that sort of thing. Because they compare the two of them all the goddamn time.
You'd make fanboys just excite themselves. It'd be amazing.
Anything else? News? Anything? We're over 2 hours at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I had some bottom barrel scraping. I mean, the Suicide Squad became it's like you have a new Red Band trailer, best of all, most viewed of all time, like every couple weeks lately, because the Suicide Squad beat Mortal Kombat, which just set the record a couple weeks ago. So. Also, CECIL did a reaction to that on the horror show. So if you guys want to check that out, that was another one I had a little conflict and didn't get to jump in on. But I thought that trailer was great, man. And if you want to see all things King Shark, Lindsey has you covered on my 2 cents of nonsense.
Yeah.
My 2 Kings of Shark. I'm rebranding the channel, actually.
Yeah.
That trailer looked awesome, though. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I love the music. I can't stop listening to Dirty Deeds now. No, not Dirty Deeds. What's the song called?
You have 500,000 clicks on your video. You don't know?
I Dirty Work. Like, I knew it was Dirty something. I don't want to do your dirty work. Dirty Deeds is the AC/DC song. That's what threw me off here. Yeah.
Well,
I'm excited.
Take the floor, Lindsey. What do you got going on Planet Lindsey? We don't already know.
So much. I've done a bunch of revisions on the channel itself. I got new banner art and a new profile picture for myself going on because I feel like being a little fancy to celebrate all this. I've got the weirdest changes made to Justice League video out that's doing pretty good. I've got 3 videos out on King Shark that are various levels of insane meminess that are kind of fun. If you want to check some of that out, check it out. King Shark is a character I've kind of liked a lot the last couple of years, and now people suddenly like watching me talk about him. So I'll probably be making some more King Shark videos at some point. I don't know about. I'm gonna run out of material quickly, but I'll just start making even weirder memes.
You're gonna be the King Shark guy, like I'm gonna be the Solo guy, and it's gonna be like.
That's a badge of pride you wear, though, right? I'm the Solo guy.
Nope. Hey, CP, what other movies are there where people eat shit? I don't know. Fucking what? Huh? What do we got here, CECIL?
Oh, actually, Dice in the chat. That's a very good point. If Bill Murray's not involved in Space Jam 2, I have very little interest. But that's a great King Shark image right there.
I was just making an appropriate image. That's all.
No, beautiful. I love it. And the fact that it's Sylvester Stallone. I'm sorry. No, go ahead, Fuego.
No more shark talk.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, since the last time we did a show business, I went out to the theater and saw a couple films. Benedict Cumberbatch has a it's more like a spy drama than anything James Bond related. It's called The Courier. If you feel comfortable, jump into a theater, vaxxed or masked or whatever. The movie is damn good. Just don't expect big action spectacle of the 007 variety. So on Infuegotainment, there's a review of that and also of the Bob Odenkirk film Nobody. And I know I'm at least going to check out this film. It's the only major release this weekend. It's called Voyagers. It's from Neil Berger, the same guy who did The Illusionist, and I think he did Limitless too, if I'm not mistaken. But it's the only big time release. It's coming out on Friday. Ty Sheridan, Colin Farrell. Looks interesting enough for a PG-13 science fiction movie. So I would imagine you can look forward to a review of that as well. So
Nice.
CECIL.
Nothing to plug. No, check us out at the Horror Show channel if you want. We're still doing an episode a day until the end of this month, at which point we are relaunching the channel as far as content goes in May. So,
Oh wow.
And
big
it's going to be
changes
the
coming.
rom-com channel from now on.
Nope, it's just going to be way less episodes, but ideally much higher quality. So,
Hell yeah.
lots of good fun stuff. Getting back to the roots of the channel, doing more comedy stuff, doing more thinking outside the box stuff rather than review after boring ass review.
That sounds exciting, man.
That's good. YouTube needs less of that. That's
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
just my opinion. Fucking
that's what I'd like to do.
Well, you've joined the party. Everybody's drunk already.
I've been a part of it for like 7 years. So
Yeah, I know. Some
Yeah,
people,
but you're just the kid standing
Yeah.
in the corner going,
Yeah.
too.
yeah. Some people fucked it up for everybody else, and the cops came and
Became Rotten Tomatoes.
Logan Paul.
There's way worse than him at this point. Good lord.
I know, but he's just so easy to blame for everything.
Yeah.
As for yours truly, I if you want personal news, I did do a stream a couple of days ago. I don't know what the future holds. The camera issue is still a thing, but that has become so far from relevant or important. But as long as I can, I will be streaming. Dice has contributed to do a watch along, so keep an eye here. Emily, if you want to help us out, watch, like, subscribe, share, all that shit. Emily will be on Twitch. I will be on Twitch. We'll be streaming all that stuff. We're at a very, very interesting day-to-day basis. And as far as health is concerned, I don't know what to tell you. Like, literally, I don't know what to tell you. But I'll be here one way or another. I just what capacity is the question.
Well, I hope when you do have something to tell us, it's positive, man.
Yeah, I don't have a second opinion. I have, it could just be PTSD and a really shitty memory, which, I've been on so many different drugs. So, I've literally been on 13 different medications for depression in 12 months. So there could be this weird cocktail thing that is just turned me into a bit of a mess. But as long as I remember me, we'll keep going.
Yeah.
And we got to switch it to something else. What? Merch. Another way to help. Merch. If you don't like Marvel, here you go. There's this shirt, Marvel, and is that up from your store?
I think
Yeah. I think we have this on our store.
Do you really?
I think so. Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. And Lindsey will have a shark shirt by this time next week. I'm certain of it.
Lindsey, let's talk about a Coast Shark stream, man. I can fill you in on some King Shark Pass.
That would be fun, actually. We should do it. Yeah. Let's put that together, actually. Hell yeah.
If you want, I'm down.
You
Go
guys
out
are
to sea together,
such
guys.
whores.
Yeah.
I'll go to my storage unit and dig out Superboy number 0 to fucking prove that I have the original appearance of King Shark.
That's beautiful, actually. That's got to be worth some money, right?
Oh no, Superboy 0, that was part of the 0 hour event. Well, don't get me started.
Okay.
Now it will be. Now that it's the hottest shit.
Maybe,
since,
yeah.
Since Harambe.
The thing I'm more excited about is I have a #1 issue of Invincible that's graded at 9.6, and now that the series has started, I bet that'll go up. I sold my #1 of Walking Dead for like 15 hundo, like
That's
3
pretty
years
cool.
into the show. So yeah,
Wow. Also, Invincible, by the way, awesome. I am
fucking
loving
great,
it.
right?
So good.
Have you not watched it yet, CP?
No.
Oh my God, watch
Good.
it on Prime. So Invincible is an animated show based on the second longest running Robert Kirkman comic. Robert Kirkman,
Okay.
being the man behind The Walking
Walking
Dead.
Dead. Yeah.
So it starts off like basically like a Superboy version of Spider-Man. It's got that feel, but by the end of episode 1, you see that the stakes are way fucking higher than you could have anticipated.
The end of that first episode is bonkers.
It just gets
Yeah.
crazier from there. Only 4 episodes have dropped so far, but they're so worth your time.
I meant to watch 1 last night. Next thing I knew it was 3 a.m. and I'd watched all of them.
I did
Yeah.
the same thing when those first 3 dropped. I was up till like 5. I was like, I'm not going to start this late. And I was like, oh, okay.
I'd hate to tell you what I've been watching lately. There's this fucking QAnon documentary on HBO, and it's fascinating. It's fascinating.
I've heard interesting things about that. I'll have to check it out. Please don't do that, actually, Cecil. At least not on our stream. You know,
I know it's in poor taste.
What do you do? Would you smoke?
Nothing. Nope.
It's almost legal here, so we're almost 100% good. Oh,
I
you
didn't-
farted?
No, don't worry about it. Go back to
Good, but yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay. All right, guys. So we'll be back next week. Interesting news. We're gonna have the alumni of every version of show business coming along through various portions of the year, all except one. I'm pretty sure you can figure out which one that is. Not a friend of the channel. So otherwise, we're gonna have some fun this year, especially on dead news weeks. So stay in tuned, and we'll see you next time. Thank you once again, Cecil, for joining us on such short notice.
Thank you for having me, man. It was a really good time. I hope I didn't over talk like Cecil normally does. That fucker.
No. If anything, you didn't sing up DC enough, which is Chauncey's job. And you know, if you're gonna take Chauncey's place, you gotta talk about DC.
That's another person I need to start a comic stream with. Is Chauncey, because
yeah,
the comics that we both read, I chime in on her reviews all the time. I'm like, hey, that's good. Like.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't talk about comics enough as much as I fucking read them.
Lindsey nerds out about video games, then Chauncey nerds out about comics, and Fuego nerds out about every fucking movie ever. Holy shit, Fuego!
And
Watch
South
the
Park.
last movies. Oh, and
South
South
Park,
Park.
yes. Thank you for remembering.
Yeah.
I have such a lack of a life that I can converse on any of that.
I've only seen 376 movies this year.
It's only
Fuego.
it's only 110 so far this year for brand new releases. Brand new releases.
He said only. I can count on my hands, and I'm genuinely trying. All right, guys, have a Monday.
Have a Monday.
Say good night, everybody.
Just another man.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.